Hi guys, welcome to the first ever, NFL draft live stream. I'm really excited for this event. I've been kind of looking forward to it for a very long time over the past few months. So it should be really awesome to kind of react to the different picks. I'm a big fan of the NFL. My favorite team is the Atlanta Falcons, and so it should be pretty cool to see what teams do in this year's draft. And yeah, that's about all I got to say. And let's just have fun with this. Actually, if anyone's there, does the audio sound fine? I have a lavalier, and I have my TV on here. I'm watching the ABC broadcast, so just kind of testing things out right now, right before the NFL draft actually starts. Oh, we got someone. Hi, Ejector Air Coasters. The NFL draft's gonna start pretty soon. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this for a really long time. It's gonna be really awesome to see all the picks. Okay, now we got some more people coming in. This is where it gets good. Like I said, I'm a Falcons fan, so that's kind of the team that I'm rooting for. I hope we get CJ Henderson. So new logo. Well, I did get a new logo a month ago, something like that, and I like it, so that's pretty good. Thank you for that. Oh, Ejector Air Coasters, yeah, he has a new logo. That makes sense. Okay, that makes more sense. I've had it for a month now, something like that. So I was a little confused there. What are your guys' favorite NFL teams? I'm just curious because, um, you know, I don't really talk to coaster enthusiasts much about football, so it's kind of a new thing to be doing a live stream sort of like this. What are your guys' favorite teams? I'm just kind of curious. Patriots. That Super Bowl 51 was very painful. So I mean, yeah, Chiefs. Okay, those two pretty good teams right there. You guys aren't picking until late. I think the Patriots with pick 23, they might try to go for Jordan Love if he's still there. That's my thinking. Maybe they'll go for quarterback. Chiefs, they have such a loaded roster. I could see them going O-line or maybe even running back since they're so late. Although I don't think you should really draft the running back in the first round, but we'll see what happens. You're still sad about Tom Brady. I think almost every Patriots fan kind of is. I mean, whether you thought he was regressing a lot or not, I mean, it's pretty sad. You like roller coasters, so you're just here for that. Yeah, I mean, and then also now Gronk going to the Bucks. That's pretty tough. Um, it's definitely different. It feels really weird. You went to the last two AFC Championship games. I've only. That's actually really cool. I've never been to a playoff game. I've been to two regular season games. One was when the Falcons. It was when our division was god awful. It was absolutely garbage, and the winner of our division was the Panthers. They went 7-8-1. They were the only the second team in NFL history to have a losing record and make the playoffs. And basically, I watched the last game that was going to determine who in our division was going to make the playoffs because the Falcons were facing the Panthers, and the Panthers killed us. And the other game I watched was when the Falcons pretty much destroyed the Rams the year they went to the Super Bowl. So the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, I should say. But yeah, those are the two games I've been to. I was hoping to watch a Chargers game this year, Falcons in the new LA Stadium. I don't think that's going to happen just because of this whole situation, but we'll just have to wait and see. Once Bill Belichick retires, then we're really screwed. Yeah, probably, but I mean, you guys had such a good run, 6 Super Bowls. I mean, And maybe not. Like, maybe if they're smart with the roster and they get like a new coach, maybe they can still have a chance. Oh, okay, they're actually starting. Hold up.
From everyday challenges. Let us dream of better days and help others. The Draftathon will raise awareness and much needed funding for those who need it most. For those able to help, we encourage you to visit.
The new logo, yeah, for some reason the same thing happened when I changed it. For like the first 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that, it doesn't show up on like your own thing. It's really weird. But that'll like be fixed in a little bit. I don't think that should be that much of an issue.
And for being part
A
of
bit of lag, really?
many families.
I don't think we're having any lag because my thing's not showing it.
Please join me
Really?
in observing a
Hold
moment
on.
of silence.
Yeah, you guys told me for dealing with flag. I don't think so. I figured, yeah, okay. I was like, I haven't seen any issues.
Thank you. To perform the national
Yes, I see green and black and the words ejector air coasters. Yes, I see it. And that was the same thing with my thing because I was like asking people, oh, can you see my thing? And they could. But for some reason, I guess you yourself can't. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, also, tell me if the audio, I can't hear it, like, from my computer. I hope the noise from the TV isn't, like, picking up too much, so tell me if it is, and I'll turn the TV down. If it's fine right now, then just, like, comment that right now. I just kind of don't want to have it too loud. It's not? Okay, that's fine. Then that's perfect. I'll have it this way then. This is, like, the perfect volume. Alrighty, sounds good. With this first pick, obviously, shoot, I lost the thing. Okay, there we go. The Bengals are gonna draft Joe Burrow. Like, if they do anything otherwise, that's just kind of, that would be like a really bad decision. And yeah, there's Joe Burrow right there. I heard he already got told that he was gonna go on the Bengals. Really good quarterback. Easily, I think, the best quarterback in this year's class. So, I mean, some people feel bad because he's going on the Bengals. But honestly, I would rather go, if I were him, I would rather go to the Bengals than a team like the Dolphins. Because the Bengals actually have a pretty good receiving core, in my opinion. They have A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, John Ross, and Auden Tate. So, yeah. I think that Joe Burrow, he'll have a pretty good opportunity there. They need to improve the O-line, though, which is pretty bad right now. But, like, good running back, good receivers. It's not a terrible situation for Joe Burrow. So, yeah, that's kind of what I think about Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. They haven't announced that yet if you're not watching, but I'm just going to guess they're going to do that. Yeah, the new logo, yep. I don't like how it's kind of weird like that, how it doesn't show up for you, but that's just kind of how it is. I was under the impression the draft was starting at 5. Why are they... I mean, I guess they take a few minutes anyways, but... I was watching Airtime Throws 15 polarizing coasters, and then you started streaming. I saw that a good bit before this started, and it was a very good video. I definitely agree with his top 2. If you haven't watched the whole way through, like, his top 2 I 100% agree with. They seem to be, like, the most controversial coasters. But yeah, very good video. You're at Magnum XL 200. Yeah, then I won't spoil it then, but no, very good video by him, and he's right. There are like some coasters, it's crazy how it's like, there's some people that it's like, I guess I'm gonna try to think of one for example. Like, I mean, yeah, Magnum XL 200. Like, some people think it's like a top 10 coaster on their list and like a top 25 coaster in the world. And then you have people who think it's one of the worst coasters in the park. So it's kind of crazy. I'd say X2 and the Beast are the most controversial. Yeah, those are I have ridden X2 myself, and I'm obviously a big fan of it. But if you ride in like an outside seat or something, I can see why you wouldn't be a big fan of it. It's just not as X2 is godly. Yeah, it is. I 100% agree. Um, but I will admit that for some people, I mean, I think the outside seats, I think it's a worse experience, but I still think that X2 gives an amazing ride in the outside seats. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's like absolutely horrible or something, like some people make it out to be. Like I can understand why, but I myself never have had that big of an issue. Uh, I mean, I've never had that big of an issue with that. Um, but like some people in my family have, so I kind of know how um, that like kind of the seats change your ride experience. Also, back row is the front row. I don't know. I've tried it a few times. I'm not that into it. Like the first one to go down the first drop. Oh, you have a question? Yeah, you can ask. Oh yeah, you guys can ask questions. I should have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, you guys can ask questions. That's totally fine. My sister does, and my dad doesn't notice the difference. Okay. It's just the front row is a lot less intense. I mean, it's still pretty intense, but back row is where it's at for me. Um, in my opinion, that makes more of a difference than the seats. You like the back better? Yeah. Nitro is awesome. Yeah, that's another coaster that's kind of controversial. I've never ridden it. I've never even ridden a B&M Hyper, but I've heard good things about Nitro, so I'm definitely looking forward to riding it one day. American Thunder is better than Outlaw Run. That's an interesting take. That's pretty controversial, I'd say, but maybe like is Outlaw Run like really rough for you, or are you just because I guess it's a short ride, so. Nitro is better than El Toro. I cannot see that, but I guess that's fine.
Of the American public by doing the kind of physical separations, doing things virtually, avoiding that kind of contact that puts you at risk. So it's a good thing.
Like, I've heard El Toro is a bit rough, so I guess that makes sense. But for me, I cannot ever see that. El Toro is the single greatest coaster ever. It might just be. Like I said, I've never ridden it, but I could definitely see it becoming like my number one or like number two or number three coaster. It's like really good. Outlaw is too short. Yeah, that's a complaint people have with it, and I can kind of understand. I mean, I myself am completely fine with shorter coasters. Like, some of my favorite coasters of all time are Top Thrill Dragster and Railblazer. Just because they do so much within the short time the ride's actually going. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was starting. Oh, my bad. We're still talking about it. Maybe they're having issues or something. Maybe they. Usually I'm like busy or something and I can't watch the NFL draft, or at least the first few picks. I usually jump in mid first round. So, actually I'm gonna do something real quick. Alright. There we go.
Generational type defensive talent that's presumed to go number 2 to the Washington Redskins, but the Cincinnati Bengals have the number 1 overall pick in this NFL draft, and we're just about set to go to Roger Goodell's basement to start this NFL draft.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you covered on that already, I think. Probably should have some moderators on here for the future, but I haven't been able to do that yet. It's about to start, guys, so that's why I haven't been talking so much. He's talking right now.
Let's hear from you right now. Oh, come on, guys. You can do better than that. Let's go. Oh, straight hand. Come on, let's go. Come on, you guys can do
Wait,
it.
is this for real? Are they all booing him?
All right, keep it coming.
Oh, that was supposed to be some joke. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you from my basement, so keep it coming. Lastly, the best part of the draft is that it restores
What was that?
and generates
Dude, everyone was booing him.
because
I mean,
team gets
I would have too, but
so good luck to every team.
whatever that was.
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever
Yes, he was causing chaos. You could definitely say that.
the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock.
Oh, Bengals are on the clock. All right, just pick Joe Burrow already. If it's anything other than Joe Burrow, I don't even know what to say.
I spoke with him today. Everyone knows what they're going to do. They're going to take Joe Burrow and make him the quarterback
Yes.
of the franchise. The Bengal fans are excited about that. They haven't won a playoff game since 1990 recently. Put that into perspective. Mariah Carey's first hit single was in 1990, so it's time to find the guy at quarterback. That's been a minute, as the kids say. All right,
So I guess they're showing like all the TV screens of like Bengal fans. So okay, I'm watching the ABC broadcast. I don't know if it's well. I mean, it is different on ESPN and NFL. I know a little bit, but can you be him? Okay, hold on a second.
also a first round
Here we
pick
go.
with the Cincinnati Bengals, the 2005 draft. Now, there's not a lot of drama at the top of the draft.
All right, got you guys. Yeah, you guys are mods now.
There's always a position of need, and Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa, the guy who was presumed to be the #1 draft pick at this point a year ago.
There's Tua. I don't know where he'll go. I mean, I'm guessing Miami. Actually, I think Miami's gonna trade up to #3. They're gonna trade with Detroit. That's my prediction. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that, so that's gonna be my guess.
Reasons that some teams are hesitant about Tua. You see in
The only, the only thing is he's a really good quarterback, but man, his injuries, the injury concerns, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. There's only a few teams. I don't think, honestly, I don't think Miami's a good situation, but for him, I think the Chargers, the Saints, team like that would be a lot better for him than the Dolphins, because the Dolphins have a horrible O-line right now, and they need to fix that in the draft today, because if they don't, whoever plays quarterback's gonna get like brutally beaten. They have like, I think, the worst offensive line in the entire NFL, so we'll see what they do today.
you showed, you can see the work that he's put in since the injury. Great to see him up on his feet, training here in Nashville with Trent Dilfer, and he looks outstanding. But it's a mystery because
I asked you guys what your favorite NFL teams were earlier. Do you have a player that you want your team to draft today? Obviously, one of you being a Patriots fan, and another one of you being a Chiefs fan. I need to go back. Yeah. Don't know. Well, for the Chiefs, it's kind of tough to say because you don't know who's going to be there, and there's not a whole lot of needs for that team, but running back and offensive line are definitely the two that come to my mind most.
football IQ, but he's a heck of a competitor. And competitors, they always want to make plays, and that's why he holds the ball sometimes a little bit too
Max
long.
Thrill's favorite team is the Pats.
I think he's
That makes sense. I can see that. Actually, I'm going to look here.
he slides
The
the top. He's
Chiefs.
a great quarterback. The Miami Dolphins select
Oh, yeah, they could take a corner. I forgot. And a linebacker, shoot. Actually, okay. There are quite a few things they could do.
this time a year ago.
If one of the better corners, like one of the like
Is absolutely going to
low end first round or higher end second round like projected corners comes around, then I think they should probably draft one of them. But we'll see what they do.
trophy at LSU. And what a great story he is. Started his career at Ohio State, like you mentioned, Reese. Didn't work out there, transfers to LSU, and wins his team over with tremendous leadership and work ethic. And this past season, arguably, had the best single season we've ever seen a quarterback have in college football. A record 60 touchdown passes, wins the Heisman, wins the national championship. In the 13 years that I've been covering college football,
Well, we got a lot of Patriots fans, alrighty.
accurate quarterback. He's played his
Well, for you guys, the Patriots, you guys have Jarrett Stidham, not entirely sure how to pronounce him. That's the guy you guys like the Patriots want to start at quarterback. I think if Jordan Love falls, that you guys will draft him. And honestly, I think Jordan Love's going to be really good. He might have to sit a year or something like that, but Jordan Love I think is going to be really good. Um, Definitely, it would be a mistake if someone drafts. In my opinion, if someone drafts Justin Herbert before Jordan Love, that'd be a huge mistake. Justin Herbert, I think it's gonna be a bust. I'm sorry to say. Like, there's some teams where I think he could do well, but he needs to sit for like at least a year, and maybe multiple, and he needs to have a good surrounding core because otherwise, he's gonna be terrible. I think. Which is unfortunate because the guy seems nice, but I don't know. I don't have that much confidence in him. Did Trump really say that? Oh my god. They play in Kansas City, Missouri, and he said the Chiefs of Kansas State. Yikes, that's rough. You're texting a group chat and they're all Patriots haters. Yeah, I know plenty of people who don't like the Patriots, so. I think there was a merchandise issue a few years ago where it was like license plates or something. They were doing NFL teams license plates, and they had the state outline with the team, and they messed up with the Washington Redskins. They play in Washington D.C., and then whoever did the license plate, and these were like official team license plates, did the actual state of Washington. So that was pretty bad. Oh yeah, there's a lot of there's actually a good amount of Patriots fans in California. I know like I said, I know a lot of people that don't like the Patriots, but I also know a lot of people who are fans of the Patriots. So I'm actually curious. I wonder who they'd want. Because I know I was saying earlier that Jordan Love, I think he would be a great quarterback for them. I know a lot of people don't really want they kind of think negatively about Jordan Love, so I don't know exactly what people are going to want. If parks reopen by June, I'm going to California's Great America. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know that I kind of, by June, I don't know about early June, but we'll see. It really depends. Who knows, honestly. Oh, weird fact. Oh, hold on. I guess you're going to Six Flags Great America. Yeah, that park looks cool. I want to go there. It's one of my most anticipated Six Flags parks, up there with Fiesta Texas and Grid Adventure. It's like right up there with those two. Jordan Love or anyone else. We just need a quarterback. Well, I guess if they did draft Justin Herbert, they're one of the teams that I'd be okay with, but I'm just not a big fan of Justin Herbert. I think if he goes in the top 10, that's a huge mistake. And if he gets drafted ahead of Jordan Love, which he like almost certainly will, it's gonna be a mistake. Okay, the pick is in for the Bengals, so whenever he decides to announce, I mean, it's Joe Burrow, but yeah, I mean, it is Joe Burrow. I think they literally told him like yesterday. What was it? That he was part of the team. Or at least that's what the rumors were. So they had. If it's not Joe Burrow, like that's just I don't know. That would just be crazy. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Joe Burrow. All right, they drafted Joe Burrow. I mean, what else were they gonna do? I mean, I don't have much of a reaction there because what else were they gonna do? There was like pretty much nothing else. Speaking of the Bengals, when will AJ Green come back? Oh, he had that injury last year. I assume he would be ready for next year. I mean, even if AJ Green was injured, I still think the Bengals have a pretty good receiving core. But yeah, great pick for the Bengals, Joe Burrow. I mean, really the only pick they could have made. Some people are saying that like they feel bad for him. I mean, yeah, I can kind of see that, but I think he'll definitely make the team a lot better. And in a few years from now, maybe they'll even be like a playoff contender. So great pick in my opinion, Joe Burrow, best quarterback easily of this class. Hello from Virginia. Nice. What's your favorite team? If you missed it, well, you're probably watching, so you already know. But Joe Burrow just got picked by the Bengals, unsurprisingly, and I mean, great pick by the Bengals. But if anyone, uh, if if it was anyone else, it would have been a little crazy. Let's see, Redskins. I mean, they're gonna draft Chase Young. I would think. Maybe they'll trade down. I highly doubt it. Maybe Jeff Okuda, but I still they have to draft Chase Young. He's so good. You have to draft him. I think it's like a no-brainer for me. Intimidator 305. Yeah, one of my most anticipated coasters. It used to be the Redskins, but it's now the Eagles. Really? How could you do that? That's their division rival. Like, that's rough. Actually, what was it? I was gonna share this stat, but it's kind of weird. Maybe it's a coincidence, but for the past, I need to count it now. I think it's the past. I'm trying to remember. So for the past, I guess, 4 Super Bowls. If I have visited the city that a team's from, they made it to the Super Bowl. So the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, well, I saw, okay, the Falcons are different. So the year the Falcons made it to the Super Bowl, I watched a game they went against the Rams. They made the Super Bowl. The next year, the Eagles made it and won the Super Bowl, and I went to Philadelphia the summer before. The next year, I went to LA and the Rams made the Super Bowl. And then this year, I was right next to the, what is it, 49ers Stadium during the summer or the spring, something like that. And they made the Super Bowl, just kind of something weird. I guess if I go to the cities or near the stadiums, I guess for the past 4 years, the teams make it to the Super Bowl. That's kind of interesting. You still like the Redskins. I mean, if they're your like more local team, I can see why. Eagles are a good team. I think they need to draft a receiver. The only problem is they're at 21. They may have to trade up. They definitely should go grab a receiver, I think, because it's not that their core is bad. It's just there's too many guys that are injury prone. Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson. I don't know if you can rely on them to be super healthy. Do you follow baseball? If so, do you like the Giants? No, I don't follow baseball, but I do know plenty of people who like the San Francisco Giants. How many states have I been to? God. I was just thinking about this the other day. I think not counting airports and stuff, actually going into the states and doing something, I think 11, which for some of you guys might be a lot, and for others of you, maybe it's like not very much at all. So, wait, your favorite team is, wait, I'm confused. I mean, I guess you've been to 26 states, yeah. Well, when you're in California, California is such a huge, oh, including airports. If we were including airports, there'd be quite a bit more. I think we'd be closer to 15, 16, something like that. Maybe more. I'm not sure. You're 12? Okay, so you've done a lot, went to a lot of different states. But for me, California, I mean, it's so big, and I'm in literally the middle of it. So I haven't been to many of the states that are like right next to California. Weirdly enough, I've only been to Nevada, but I've been to the East Coast and Georgia, uh, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, um, Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia, Ohio. I've been to a few others that I'm not mentioning, but yeah. You're not actually watching the draft? Okay, so Joe Burrow. So basically, there's only been one pick, and the Bengals drafted Joe Burrow. Unsurprisingly. Good pick, but it was like the only pick. University of Virginia, Bryce Perkins, quarterback, is getting in the NFL draft. Well, I don't think he'll be. Wait, hold on. Bryce Perkins. Okay, I'm gonna look at this real quick.
Crazy to me, but it's a dream come true.
Mel Kiper shared earlier that going into last season, he had a 6th-round grade on you, but then you won the Heisman, a national title. You're #1 overall. How do you process that?
Okay, I see. He won't, like, I think he'll probably be drafted later if he does get drafted, probably like a 6th-round pick, but that's cool. But it'll be interesting to see which quarterback goes next, because in my opinion, my #2 quarterback for this draft is actually Jordan Love. It would be Tua if he didn't have all these injury concerns, but Jordan Love's my #2. And yeah, why do picks usually take this long? What time is it? We're already 32 minutes in from where it was supposed to start, and we got in one pick. That's incredible. Oh well, the Redskins have picked their player, but they haven't. They're waiting to announce it, I guess. I mean, they had to have picked Chase Young. I mean, if it's anyone else, like, I think the first few picks are gonna be pretty predictable, but what happens like at like the end of the top 10 and the beginning of like the top 15 is gonna be interesting. I can't believe the NFL draft is happening during this pandemic. It is kind of nuts, but I mean, at least we have something. Okay, here's the pick, just like that. Yep, they drafted Chase Young. Redskins selected Chase Young. Another excellent pick. Pretty much also the obvious pick here. But definitely will be a big help for that defense. And they're going to get an elite player, honestly, there. And you should be able to start immediately. So that's a really good pick right there. Cannot argue with that. But yeah, Chase Young, really good player for the Redskins. Excellent pick. I was kind of thinking, I was hoping when the Falcons were doing terrible, like the first half of the year where they went like 1-7, they would do bad enough to where they could get Chase Young. Then they went like 6-2 the last 8 games of the year, and obviously that didn't happen. But yeah. Did you see that M&D Scotland with tornado went into administration will likely close? No, I did not hear about that. That's not good. That's not good. Is there rumors that new proposed Redskins Stadium is going to be in Northern Virginia? Oh, you know, I have seen art for that proposed stadium. I think I heard it was going to be going somewhere else if it was to happen. I don't know what the status is on that right now, though. Absolutely no clue if that's like actually happening. I think it was in Northern Virginia, but I have no clue. You got another Patriots fan in your big group chat. Oh man. Well, that's interesting. Oh yeah, totally forgot about that. Chase Young grew up in, or he lives in Washington D.C. basically. So That's actually really nice that he was able to go to the Redskins. They were just mentioning he only lives like 15 minutes away from the stadium. Man, that's nice. He's interested in law enforcement. That's interesting. Is if their new Redskins stadium is going to be in Virginia, will it still be called the Washington Redskins, or they would be called the Washington Redskins? They like the Giants and Jets play in New Jersey technically, and they're still called the New York Giants. And I'm trying to think. There's like a few other examples I think of teams that, like the 49ers. They're called the San Francisco 49ers. Santa Clara is like 40 minutes away from San Francisco, so. No, they would still be called the Washington Redskins. That's. Is there a stadium? I forget. Is there a stadium in Washington D.C. or is it like slightly outside of it in Maryland? I think they used to have a stadium that was like slightly outside of it, or maybe vice versa. But I haven't actually seen their stadium, so I wouldn't know. Virginia needs a good professional football team. I don't know exactly where they would put it. I mean, I guess if the Redskins, they move their stadium like to somewhere in Virginia, I guess there you go, you have it. But I don't know where they would put it. It is in Maryland. Okay, that makes sense. So they would maybe make their stadium go to Virginia. Okay, I could see that. That makes sense. I could see that. I'm gonna have to refill this water bottle at some point, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Oh, the Lions pick is in, so that should be pretty quick. This is probably Jeff Okuda. Yeah, because wait, they didn't trade down? Or wait, the Dolphins didn't trade up? Actually, I'm surprised. I thought the Dolphins were going to trade up and either get Tua or Herbert, which I would not have been a big fan of either of those picks. Tua, I like him, but like I said, the injuries. And Herbert, I don't really like him too much, so. Here it is. Jeffrey Okuda. Yep, Jeffrey Okuda. Cornerback. Another good pick. Makes a ton of sense. I'm surprised. I would have thought someone would have wanted to trade up for this. So, oh God. Now we have the Giants. Oh no. You know, the Giants, I am not, their general manager is not very good. What was it? Last year, the last few years, they've drafted a running back in the first round, which was Saquon Barkley. Yes, he's really good, but you can get running backs in later rounds and be fine. There's a lot of good running backs out there. There's a lot of talent at that position. There's other positions where there's not as much talent. Like they could have grabbed the quarterback that year. And then last year, they drafted an interior defensive lineman in the first round with Dexter Lawrence. And then they also drafted Daniel Jones way too early. I guess, yes, he's ended up being pretty good so far, but they could have got him later. So I would think they would go offensive tackle with this pick. I'm going to guess Tristan Wirfs or Jedrick Wills here. Also, I could see Isaiah Simmons. Those would all make sense. I'm scared they're going to go with Derek Brown and do something like that. That would be really dumb. Another interior defensive lineman. He's a good player, but it would be like pretty much useless. I mean, if they actually do that. Let's see what we got here. If Virginia Beach gets a national basketball team, it could be called the Virginia Beach Neptunes. That would make sense. If they got a professional team or battleships. I guess that makes sense. Never been to Virginia Beach, but sounds like something they would do. Alrighty, I'm gonna what is it? Go get refill my water real quick. I'll be right back.
So you get the best cover corner in the draft. And Jeff Okuda, coach just talked about his feet, his length, his ability to change direction, and he doesn't back down for bigger, more physical receivers. Against Nico Collins of Michigan, you saw late in the year. Against Justin Ross, T. Higgins from Clemson, big, long receivers. He completely shut them down. And here's what I love about Jeff Okuda. He doesn't get penalties. No pass interference calls last year. No defensive holding penalties last year. We know, guys, referees today, they throw these flags more than they ever have in the past. Pass interference call was 15 yards. The NFL had to be 50, 60 yards.
How many credits do I have? Hold on, sorry, I just came back. Audio is all good, I hope. My credits, I have 94 credits right now. So, across, what is it? Actually, and I have a few in Mexico even, so that's pretty cool. Six Flags Over Georgia fanboy. I've actually never been to Six Flags Over Georgia, which I've been to Atlanta twice, but both times were during the winter, so I have not gone to Over Georgia yet. I really want to. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that in the next few years, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Let's see. Giants still haven't made their pick yet. I don't know. This might be... Knott's is better than Magic Mountain. I 100% agree with this. As an actual park, absolutely. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. Knott's is better, in my opinion. Obviously, the Coaster Collection, Magic Mountain has a better one, but yeah. Falcons shirt. I am wearing one. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, there we go. I don't know if it's like backwards or something. I think this thing got stuck. But no, yeah, I have my Falcons shirt right here. Six Flags St. Louis over to Silver Dollar City. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I've never been to either of them, but no. From a coaster collection standpoint, I mean, I could kind of see it, maybe. Especially if you really like wooden coasters. But as an overall park, no. Silver Dollar City theming is overdone. Interesting. Never heard that as a complaint, but maybe when I visit, I'll understand more. I really want to go to Dollywood too. Silver Dollar and Dollywood. Yeah. Yeah, overdone theming. Actually, can you elaborate a little more on that? Like, I'm kind of confused. Like, I don't know how something could have overdone theming exactly. The country music is annoying. Well, that's kind of that's part of the charm to it. That's more personal preference. So, okay, if you don't like that, I can understand that, definitely. Magic Mountain is full ads and DC music. Yeah, pretty much. Have I been to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg? Sadly, I have not. I was thinking about going there during my 2017 trip to, where was it? I went on a trip to Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and Baltimore. And, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, no, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg was one of the parks I was considering, but it was way too far down south. King's Dominion was another one. It's obviously, I think it's less down south than Williamsburg is, but that still didn't happen. And I ended up going to Hershey Park on my way from Baltimore to Philadelphia, so that's how I was able to go there. Knott's is amazing. It's really fantastic. If you've never been to Knott's Scary Farm, if you like Halloween events, that's also amazing. But the park itself, it's really good. At Silver Dollar City, it is only good when it is cloudy. I could kind of see how that could help the atmosphere a little bit, but oh, do you mean because there's not much shade? Maybe. Magic Mountain has not much shade. Actually, being at Magic Mountain in the rain or in like a super hot day, both of them suck. It's brutal. Um, the entire park of Six Flags Magic Mountain feels the same. It's like a budget and ads kind of feel no matter where you go. Their newer areas are a little better, but it definitely doesn't have the best atmosphere. Not even really close. It's just not the best thing. Gosh, Giants, why are you taking so long? Like, please don't actually consider drafting Derek Brown. Let's not do that, please. Or maybe do it. Actually, you know what? I really, just for something funny to happen, something sort of unpredictable, I actually do kind of want to see that, but I actually haven't been to the underground, but I've heard good things about it. So, do you remember when SeaWorld was going to get bought by Six Flags? Oh, that thing. I think I heard about when that was happening or something like that. Yeah, that would not have been good for the SeaWorld parks. The only problem is I don't know how SeaWorld's gonna do like with this whole situation. So that'll be interesting to see what they do after this year. I only go to Silver Dollar City on Sundays and weekdays because everyone is doing religious practices and you're not going. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, it would be less busy, so I could see that. Knott's, if you get tired of the country feel, you can go over to the hang time area. Knott's is just like, it's like an absolute gem of a park in my opinion. I mean, they have the Calico Mine Ride and Timber Mountain Log Ride are two nicely themed rides. Oh wait, the next picks here. Oh god. Oh! Andrew Thomas. That's actually, I think, the smartest pick they could have made. Wow. They actually, okay. So they did it. They actually made a good pick. The Giants actually made a good pick. Andrew Thomas. I've been kind of like watching some video and stuff. But here's the thing. I think he's actually the best offensive tackle in the class. I know I mentioned Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs, but I had been hearing that NFL teams had been valuing them over Thomas, but I think this was actually a really good pick. This one actually surprised me a bit, but very good pick for the Giants in my opinion. Definitely a good... Okay, the Dolphins. They're going to draft Tua. They're probably going to do it. I don't know how I feel about that. He's a good quarterback, but man, that's... I don't know. I need to go back. You want to go to a SoCal coaster trip Sunday? Definitely should. Would probably be really fun. Magic Mountain would definitely be a multi-day park just because of the operations and that sort of thing. And actually, you could, like, Southern California, you have so many good parks there, so that'd be really fun. Pantheon's Outer Bank Outer Bank looks amazing. Yeah, probably the best element on the ride. That could be one of the best airtime moments on any coaster out there. So I'm very excited for that. Redskins drafted a good player. Yeah, they drafted Chase Young. He's really good. Probably the best, probably the best player in the draft, or at least defensive player. Some people might argue. Joe Burrow is the best player overall in the draft. I mean, they play different positions, but definitely a good pick for the Redskins. Kind of random, but Coaster Craziness made a top 3 worst coaster list ever. Why would you make a top 3? I mean, I guess if you go in depth, that's interesting. I feel like you can't really do a worst coaster list. Would be so hard. Like, if you were basing it off, if you were doing like one of the like worst coasters you've ever ridden, that'd be pretty easy. But like the worst coasters in the entire world, there's probably, I mean, this is kind of negative, but there's so many bad coasters probably that no one's ever ridden, and like I just think about all those Chinese knockoffs that are out there. Like those have got to be some of the worst things ever made, and not that many people have ridden them. So I don't know how you could really make a worst coasters list unless you're doing one that's like the worst coasters you've ever ridden. Which, if anyone asks me, Coast Rider, not Ghost Rider. Let me make that clear. The Wild Mouse at Knott's Berry Farm, that's the worst coaster I've ever ridden. You're riding some knockoffs next year. Um, oh man, that's tough. I hope for the best. Oh, you mean he made a top 100 and it was the worst thing ever? Oh, well, I mean, people's opinions are different. Some people, they look for different things in coasters. Like, yeah. I don't really judge top 100 lists too much because, like, different people have different preferences. So it's whatever, I guess. China is making a clone of Tehran and Cheetah Hunt. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's really more the park's fault or if that's Intamin. Like, they were just kind of like, hey, we can build you this ride. It's model we've already done. It would be cheaper. Maybe they convinced them to do it that way. There's probably a lot of things that go into that. I don't think they'll have as good theming, so they probably won't be as good rides as the ones here in the U.S., but I mean, they'll still be fun rides, and for the majority of the people who ride them, they're not going to have ever ridden the other ones, or probably never will, so I don't think it's that big of a problem. Green Lantern is crap. Wait, which one? The one at Great Adventure? I mean, I've heard, oh wait, or the one that is no longer at Magic Mountain, because the one that's no longer in Magic Mountain is awful. Terrible ride. I've heard bad things about the one at Great Adventure too. Inlua Adventure, is that where some of the knockoffs are? Huh. I know they have Flash, so at least that's cool. You like Ninja? That's definitely interesting. Oh, the Dolphins, their pick is in. So, Viper at Magic Mountain is amazing. I've heard some people with that opinion. I am kind of mixed on it. Actually, when I was more, like, kind of less of a coaster enthusiast, but, when I was less of a coaster enthusiast, I kind of was like, I thought the Viper was the worst coaster I ever ridden. And after a few more rides, I'm kind of like, okay, it's actually a pretty decent ride. I'm just a little mixed on it right now. I think a few more rides and it'll definitely rise a good amount for me. I don't know that I would say it's amazing, but I think it's better than some people give it credit for. Top 100 lists aren't great. I don't really like lists if you haven't ridden the rides. Yeah, I can kind of see why. Like, that's why when I do lists, I call it most anticipated. Like, when I haven't visited a place, like, I made a top 10 most anticipated coasters. I'm saying that these are the coasters that I'm most excited to ride. I mean, I kind of do have somewhat of a ranking, like, where I think coasters may be, but I mean, I don't really let that influence my thinking when going into the rides too much, so I can see why you wouldn't like that too much. Okay, so the Dolphins pick is, okay, this is gonna be Tua, isn't it? If it's Herbert, I'm done. Oh god. Did he really mispronounce Tagovailoa? Oh my god. Come on. You had one job, Goodell. Okay, so the Dolphins drafted Tua. I mean, they were going to do it. At least they didn't have to trade up. I don't like this pick that much just because, I mean, I don't know. The injury concerns, they have to improve the O-line. And the problem is Andrew Thomas is already gone, and I think the other, like, top 3 or 4 offensive line prospects that are going to be like instant starters from day one are probably going to be gone by their next first round pick. So I don't know. We'll see what they do with the rest of their picks. That'll probably influence if I think this pick is good. What they do with their next 2 picks. But I mean, at least he didn't have to trade up, so I guess that's something. He definitely has high potential, so should be hopefully things will pan out and he should be pretty fun to watch when he gets his chance to start. Why is everyone crowding up at a stadium to watch the Redskins and the Cowboys go up against each other? Oh, why do people? Well, there's a ton of Cowboy fans, and it's a huge rivalry, so that's why. Green Lantern First Flight. Yeah, I figured you were talking about First Flight. That thing's awful. Not quite the worst coaster I've ever ridden. The ride on it was just kind of more stupid, I would say, than anything else. It kind of felt stupid. So, and LeBron gets it. That's just so funny. Honestly, yeah, that's actually kind of hilarious that LeBron got Green Lantern First Flight. That's just beautiful. Green Lantern at Great Adventure is fine. Not great, but fine. Yeah, I don't think I'd hate it too much. There's only one B&M that I truly think's that horrible, and actually it was Vortex at Great America before it became Patriot. As a stand-up, it was horrible. But as Patriot, it's just kind of okay now, which I guess that's a lot better than horrible, so I guess good job to Great America for making it a lot better, at least a passable ride. Let's see what else we got. Pantheon might change the way you look and feel on coasters. It could be different. It could be a game changer, I agree. There's some things about it that look really insane. Definitely, hopefully will be a success for Busch Gardens Williamsburg, because I want to see more rides like that. The multi-launch with the switch track. I know they've kind of done it with Soaring with Dragon, but I want to see more of that. I know, what's it called? I think is Park Asterix gonna, yeah, I think Park Asterix is gonna get that Intamin multi-launch in, I think 2022 is what they were saying, 21, I don't know, one of those years. Maybe 23 at this point, but we'll see. That ride looks awesome, so definitely looking forward to more Intamin coasters. What's my thoughts on Verbolten at Busch Gardens Williamsburg? I haven't ridden it, but it looks like a really cool ride. Probably the best coaster by Zero. Some people say it should have been done by Intamin. I've never ridden it, so I can't say. Seems like something they would do, but I guess they had Zero do that. So seems like a pretty cool ride, though. Chargers still have not made their pick. Oh, I haven't given my prediction for the Chargers, have I? I hope they go Jordan Love here. Knowing the Chargers are probably going to get Herbert. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, but that's probably what's going to happen. Man, I don't know. Poor Charger fans, if they actually get Herbert. I don't know how they would feel about that. Although, actually, there are no Charger fans, so I guess there's not really much to talk about there. Green Lantern First Flight is not only short, boring, and stupid, it's the most painful ride ever. It wasn't the most painful ride for me. It was just a little uncomfortable. But I only ever got one ride on it, and one ride was definitely enough. It was terrible. The lighting... hold on, I'm going to do something real quick. And... there we go. Hopefully the lighting's better. Actually, that kind of hurts my eyes, so I'm going to turn that off. I was using a lamp, I wasn't, but it was hurting my eyes, so I don't want to do that. Get Patrick Mahomes. You can't get Patrick Mahomes. This is the draft. This is rookies. You can't do that. The Loch Ness Monster looks fun. It looks really cool. Hopefully they're able to maintain that well. Escape from Pompeii is the most themed shoot-the-chutes ride in the world by far. shoot the shoots. I actually don't really know like my log rides, like shoot the shoots ride pretty that well. Is Chiapas considered a one of those? Because I would think that would be it, but Escape from Pompeii, that seems pretty cool. Oh, the Chargers, their pick is in. Oh yeah, I forgot that new logo they have. I don't know why they did that with, there's like a little bolt coming out of the A in Chargers. I don't know why they did that. I mean, whatever. Their new uniforms look really nice though, so I'll give them that. I wonder what NFL team Bryce Perkins will get drafted into. Because he's going to be like a late round pick, at least I think. So he probably won't get picked today. I don't know. I don't know. It really could be anyone, I think. Well, maybe not quite anyone, but there's definitely a lot of teams that could try to get him. I don't know too much about him, but we'll see. I think every team should get Brady for 1 year so he can just retire. Wait. Okay. He would have to play until he's like 70 something. You're mad at Brady. I mean, it is surprising, honestly, that he would. Oh God, Herbert. I don't. Maybe they didn't pick Herbert. I don't know. From his reaction, I can't tell if they're picking him. So, I don't know. But, no, for Brady, yeah, it's surprising that he actually left. I did not see that coming. Please don't draft Herbert. Please don't draft Herbert. Don't draft Herbert. Oh, my God. Oh, that's bad. Oh, man, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Well, I guess Tyrod Taylor is just going to start for like the next 2 years or something because there is no way you're letting him start this season unless like Tyrod Taylor gets injured. Oh man, that was not a good pick in my opinion. I was scared they were going to do it and they did it. I don't like that. He got picked before Jordan Love. I don't get it. And Gronk left, yeah. Gronk went with him. Well, he was retired and then he wanted to come to the Bucks. Yeah, that was kind of funny, actually. Have the Panthers picked anyone yet? No, they are still on the clock. Actually, I'm trying to think what they could do here. There's like quite a bit of options here they could go with. They could, if they really wanted to, they could go quarterback and get Jordan Love. I don't think they would do it. I think there's other options that they could go for. They have Teddy Bridgewater, and they might be in the sweepstakes for a quarterback next year. But if they feel like it, I would not fault them at all if they picked him. Derek Brown, the interior defensive lineman, that could be someone they could get. Isaiah Simmons, one of the like probably top 3 players in this year's draft. Surprised that he's actually gone this far. Actually, not really, but sort of, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see who the Panthers pick. I am kind of curious. Hopefully, they just don't mess up really badly. But probably, if I had to guess who they're gonna get here, I think they're gonna go Derek Brown. That's what I think. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, I don't watch. Hold on. I know about college football prospects, but I don't actually watch college football. Like, I don't really root for teams that much, so I don't really have a preference between University of Virginia and Virginia Tech. So I don't really have a preference for either of them. I guess I'd say Virginia Tech, I guess. You don't like that Gronk retired and then returned to another team. Well, some players have kind of done that. What is it, Marshawn Lynch? Well, he did come back to the Seahawks, but why is Justin Herbert destroying TVs? I'm watching the ABC broadcast and I'm witnessing Justin Herbert take a sledgehammer to TVs. Why did that just happen? What? I'm so confused. Alright, anyways. I wonder how good the Redskins will be this year. I don't think you're looking at a playoff run, honestly. But, hey, Chase Young, that's something. The defense can build on that. Dwayne Haskins, give him another year. Maybe something a little more promising build for the future, I think, is what we're looking for the Redskins. Probably I could see them maybe having like a alright season, maybe 6-10, 7-9, maybe even 8-8. If Chase Young can make that much of an impact, yeah, maybe something like that. But I think they're starting to build a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what the Redskins, how they fare this year. Of course, that's assuming we don't have like a shortened season or something like that where things get a little weird. Let's see. Oh, you guys, Indiana Beach, guys. That got that park. They just announced that it just got bought by a businessman, and it's gonna be family owned again. So that's pretty cool. Do you know what team Isaiah Simmons will get drafted into? Hold on, let me look at the draft order real quick. We're on the Panthers right now, but they have not picked yet. Okay. So, sorry, just had to check on that. I think at worst he'll go to the Jaguars. Did I not mention him for the Panthers? Oh wait, no, I think I did. I think I mentioned Isaiah Simmons. I could see the Panthers going with him. The Cardinals, I think they really need an offensive tackle. So, because that offense is like going to be they need to have a good offense because they have DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, Indy Isabella. They have so many receivers there. They have Kenny Drake. They have a really good offense, but they need a better offensive line because Kyler Murray cannot just run around there for his life like he sometimes was last year. So, I think you're watching the Fox Sports NFL draft. Okay. Isaiah Simmons, my guess, either Panthers or Jaguars. I mean, I wouldn't fault the Cardinals if they picked him. I mean, he's a really, really good player, but I don't know. I just think offensive tackle is probably the bigger need for them, which some people might be against that because that's not really an exciting position to pick, but they need to do something about that offensive line. Otherwise, I don't know. It just feels like what they should do.
And our simple digital tools will help you manage your account online. At Xfinity.
Oh yeah, but Indiana Beach, the park got bought. They just found out today, or they just said today, I mean, that a businessman bought it. It's gonna be family owned, and they're gonna start repainting rides at some point, which is pretty good. It looks like they're gonna make the park look nicer, and they're planning to reopen it if the restrictions get lifted by I believe they said July of 2020. So if you guys have any opinions on that, let me know. That's just something interesting that I like. It's weird when the Washington Redskins stadium is in Maryland and their headquarters is in Virginia. Well, that's just Washington, D.C., I guess, like around there. That's kind of how it is. Clemson looks good. Yeah, Clemson. Actually, Trevor Lawrence, he's really good, I think. Cedar Point better open in June. All up to like what the whole situation is like. They don't have much control over that. It's kind of a difficult situation right now. Hopefully it does. I really hope that things improve. But I'm not so sure if that'll happen. But we can always hope for the best.
With the 7th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Derek Brown, defensive tackle.
Derek Brown. Okay, see, I got the prediction right. I got it. No, Tristan Wirfs has not gotten drafted. I thought he was going to get drafted by the Giants. He has not been drafted yet. Derek Brown, good pick. Makes sense for the Panthers. I think the Cardinals. Actually, I think the Cardinals could get Wirfs. I would not be surprised if they get Wirfs. Wirfs or Wills, I think. But I could see them going Isaiah Simmons. But actually, they were probably the other defensive player. I think the most likely defensive player they would have gotten would have been Derek Brown, who's now gone, obviously. Tristan Wirfs is one of the top offensive line prospects in this year's class. I think for some people he was the #1 offensive line prospect. No, the Panthers just drafted Derek Brown, so Isaiah Simmons I think will be going to the Jaguars, and I think that's a perfect fit for him. I'd been hearing how their scheme would be perfect for him, and that just seems to make a lot of sense. Also, it makes a lot of sense, I think, and that defense, they have a lot of fast players there, so I think it'd work really well. But yeah, Derek Brown, another good pick. I think the picks have all been pretty good, with the exception of Justin Herbert. That was awful. I'm sorry if you guys like Justin Herbert, but that was not a good pick in my opinion. Auburn University has the same color jerseys as University of Virginia. Well, there's so many different colleges, so some of them are gonna have similar color schemes. So, of course, Auburn, I think, is obviously a lot more well known right now. They just have been having more success lately. The Cardinals pick is in. We'll have to see who they get. Did I already predict? I think Wirfs or Wills. Yeah, I already said that.
You're right, Reese, and you heard all the guys saying he's a big man, 6'5", 325, but that might only be rivaled by the size of his heart. That's because Derek Brown has worked tirelessly to serve his community, which gives him a very unique perspective as he enters the league.
I'm amazed there hasn't been no trade-ups yet. I guess the Cardinals aren't trading. I'm surprised. Thank God, because I was hoping the Falcons would not trade up because I heard they were going to. So I hope they stay put, or they don't have to give up much to trade up, because I know they really want C.J. Henderson, and I would like him too, but I don't know how much they're gonna have to give up for him. Is Cedar Point going to do betting again on sports teams? Oh, did they do that with other parks? Probably not. I mean, since their team's the Browns, I don't know. I enter for the lifetime ticket every week, but don't get it. Do I need to be the first person that week? It's not the first person. That's not how they determine it. Oh, like the instant winner? It's completely random. Oh, hi there, Connor. Yeah, we're just NFL draft live stream here, so yeah, it's completely random. So it has nothing to do with timing at all.
And both his son and daughter will certainly be looking up to such a great father, Reese.
And Maria, congratulations to Derek.
So the Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals are ready with their pick. Here is the commissioner.
Oh my God! For a second, I thought it said Javon Kinlaw went to the Cardinals. I'm like, what?
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Isaiah Simmons.
Oh. I mean, it makes sense that they drafted Isaiah Simmons, but yikes. Oof. Rip the Jaguars. Oh, that was such a good fit for the Jaguars. Oh, that's a rip. But I cannot fault the Cardinals at all. This guy is really good. One of the best players in this year's draft, so cannot blame them at all. Interesting where the heck they're gonna put him. Because some teams, he's so versatile. He can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker, safety. So it'll be interesting to see Where they put him. Probably not inside because he's too small, or at least not that much. I mean, he can like on a few plays every once in a while, but he's a little small. Imagine if the Redskins moved right near Richmond, Virginia, and Kings Dominion does betting on sports teams. Would Six Flags America be doing? I don't know. Like they can't become. They would still have to be called the Washington Redskins, so I don't see that happening. But we'll see what happens exactly. Sorry, a little tired. Let's see what comes next. The Jaguars are on the clock. So since Isaiah Simmons is gone, I need to look because I was like, they could go receiver. They could go Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. I could definitely see that. What else do they need? I'm looking at like what maybe they need. Because Isaiah Simmons was literally perfect, and it looked like that he was gonna fall right in their lap. Cornerback, I don't think they go with that. I think they'll probably go receiver here. I don't know why everyone left. I mean, the NFL draft is pretty long, so I don't know exactly. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe some people were more watching for coasters and things of that sort. I mean, it kind of goes on and off, I think, as the night goes on. Because how late is it for you guys on the East Coast? It's like 9 something, so that's probably why. So it'll probably kind of be like that this entire process. Oh boy, if someone drafts Jalen Hurts in the first round, just don't do it, please. Let's see. So, one of the parks I hope to go to in like one of the future years is Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and because there's like, maybe there will be a day I go to San Antonio and sometime in the next few years. And so I definitely would like to go there and like kind of make a trip out of that with SeaWorld San Antonio and ZDTs. Maybe even it would be a little very much out of the way, but maybe include Kima, the boardwalk, because of Boardwalk Bullet. If any of you guys have been to those places, if you got any tips or anything, okay, so you haven't been, but yeah, it looks really cool. SeaWorld San Antonio is definitely looking to get better. Although, with this whole situation, who knows what SeaWorld's actually going to do. So, we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens with this whole SeaWorld situation. Because I don't know, like, they were doing all these big coaster additions these past, especially this year. And now with this whole thing happening, it's going to kind of mess with their plans a little bit. Wow, this is a long break. We'll just have to wait and see what the Cardinals pick. They probably have already picked by now. Like, they have their selection, they just haven't announced it yet. Because of this whole situation, I'm gonna try to be a little more like for videos. Actually, this week or maybe early next week at this point, I'm gonna try to release a Hershey Park Coasters ranking video. It'll be a bit of a prediction because I haven't actually written Candemonium, but I'll include it on the list. And of course, I haven't ridden Sidewinder the Boomerang, but I've ridden other Boomerangs, and I haven't ridden Coco Cruiser, but I've ridden rides of the same model, so that should be a pretty cool list. I'm also trying to do, like, and be more open to doing collabs. I haven't really done one yet, at least for, like, a video. So, if anyone's, like, kind of interested in that, or you think you might have an idea or something, let me know. DM me on my Instagram. And if you haven't followed my Instagram, then I recommend you do that. Coaster Hour Official. Will Kennywood do sports bets since they have a Stewart? I think different parks, it kind of depends, I guess, if, like, the majority of people there are actually into the teams. Like, sports bets, they can be fun. I know sometimes they've had it where they will rename coasters for, like, a week to, like, something that has to do with the other team. It's fun and cool that parks are doing that. I haven't seen it that often though. Like, I think I remember, what was it? I think Six Flags Over Georgia and, like, Alabama Adventure, something like that, did it a few years back. And then, what was it? A few years ago, the Chiefs, the Worlds of Fun, they had one with, was it Six Flags New England? It must have been. That must have been. That must have been it.
Congratulations, and you're gonna be great.
Kennywood is bringing back the old mill ride. Don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. So Jaguars are here. Their pick is in. They're taking a million years to announce it. I'm gonna guess that it's going to be wide receiver Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. That's my pick. I hope they don't go with corner. Oh wait, quarterback. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they could do that. They could draft Jordan Love. I don't like that. That just seems like a weird fit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What is the Cedar Point Sports Center? I don't really get it. I hadn't even heard about it, and then I, like, went by it. I'm like, what is this? I was really confused. I have no clue what the heck that's for. Oh no, they drafted CJ Henderson. Oh, that sucks. Well, the Falcons should trade down then. That's who I was hoping we would get. That sucks. I mean, good pick for the Jaguars. They did need a cornerback. I didn't mention him. I should have, but that's unfortunate. The Cedar Point Sports Center. Yeah, I have no clue what is that for. Well, I mean, I guess it's for, like, kids, like, sporting events and stuff. It's just weird that they have it. It seems kind of odd. Maybe it's like, soccer teams and football teams, like elementary teams that are, like, doing their championships. Maybe they hold it there so the teams can go to, like, Cedar Point afterwards or something. Because I don't live in Ohio, but I know, like, Cedar Point's, like, a really big deal there, so. I mean, as it should be, like, not just by coaster enthusiasts, but even, like, the general public. Like, anyone within, like, a 3 or 4 hour radius, like, knows what it is and has probably been before. During just Busch Gardens, Williamsburg 50th anniversary, they should bring back the antique cars. Yeah, Kings Island did that. Kings Island did that with their antique cars. They brought them back. I don't know that Busch Gardens would do that, but maybe. I mean, if a lot of people are requesting it and like it, they should definitely do it. But I don't know exactly what the whole deal was with the antique cars. So the Browns are picking. This has to be an offensive lineman. This has to be Tristan Wirfs or Jedrick Wills. Maybe Mekhi Becton. Maybe I could see that. Weirdly enough, I've also heard receiver they might go with, which I mean, it kind of makes sense because outside of Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, which is a really good top 2. They don't really have anyone else. So maybe Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, someone like that. But I think they're going to O-line here.
Hello, NFL fans, and a special shout out to Browns Nation. I'm so excited to help introduce the first round draft pick from my hometown, Cleveland Browns.
Magnum XL 200 is rough.
Thank you
Actually,
for your support.
I didn't like Magnum XL 200 that much, but here's the thing. I didn't really find the roughness to be a problem. It was more the restraints were the problem I had. Like, just the airtime was super painful, which is weird because I like Sky Rush, and it's a little painful, but I found Magnum to be a lot worse. And the first half is really underwhelming. It's a ride that I think if I ride it more, well, here's the thing, though. My second ride, I enjoyed it a lot more than the first. Oh, wait, there's the Browns pick.
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Jedrick Wills. Alright, makes sense. Good pick. They're okay, so teams are actually making, like, competent picks. Besides the Chargers, they're making actually good, competent picks. Which, I thought there would be a lot more dumb picks this year, but I guess they're doing good. But Magnum, I think here the thing with it is, if I ride it more, I'll like it more, because it seems like a lot of people have said the more you ride it, the more you enjoy it, and I found that I enjoyed my second ride better than my first one, like a lot more. Let's see what else we got. Best and worst hypers. I've actually barely ridden any more traditional hyper coasters, I guess you could say. Best ones I've ridden, I guess Steel Vengeance, if you count that. I don't really. I mean, it doesn't really feel like a hyper coaster, but that would be my number one. Sky Rush, that's like my true number one. I know some people might consider it, well, X2's over 200 feet, but that's definitely not a hyper coaster to me. Superman El Ultimo Escape is also one of my favorites, but I haven't ridden too many of them, so those are like easily the two best for me. And then Goliath at Magic Mountain, I really don't like. Well, it's not like an awful ride, but it's really disappointing for a hyper coaster. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I think. What are the, sorry, I already read that. I rode it on a super rough day and got mega stapled, so the airtime was like getting bodied by Mike Tyson. Yeah, getting stapled on that ride would not be fun in the slightest. Not at all. B&M Hypers. I've never ridden a B&M Hyper, so I have no clue how they feel, I guess. Oh, you left because you had to eat there. No, that's fine. That's all good. It's fine. So, let's see who's next for the draft. It's kind of tough to balance it out. I'm trying to figure that out. Jets are next. I think they're gonna go. Let's see. They just like the Browns. I think they could go receiver or offensive tackle. I'm actually amazed that no receivers have gone yet, especially in this class. Although there's a lot of depth afterwards, so I guess it kind of makes sense. The Jets, I could see them going with Tristan Wirfs, but I could also see them getting, I think for them, CeeDee Lamb would be the pick, but maybe also Jerry Jeudy, so we'll see. Spoiler, first drop on Raging Bull is the only good thing about it. Yeah, I've heard the first drop on Raging Bull is fantastic, and actually I've heard people say literally the same thing. So any other hyper does it better. Like the overall ride experience, I could kind of see that. I mean, I guess Raging Bull is a little more unique, so at least it has that going for it. And you also mentioned Mako for B&M, that's like your favorite B&M hyper, and either DC Rivals or Steel Vengeance for overall hypers. If we're talking about like what do I think's the best hyper coaster in the entire world, not like like just kind of my prediction. I guess, man, that's tough. Actually, well, it's hard to say because if we're going, I guess Steel Vengeance if we're allowing that. If not, probably either DC Rivals or Expedition G-Force. I don't know if that ride going to Wallaby, Belgium, I don't know what the height of it is. I know it's an Intamin Mega Coaster, but does oh wait, G-Force isn't a hyper coaster, right? I forgot. I don't know if the Wallaby Belgium coaster is a hyper, so if it is, I think that'll be the best hyper coaster when it opens. Nitro is the best out of the 3 hypers I've ridden. What are the other 2 you've ridden, actually? I'm curious. Nitro seems pretty good. Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, bring back Big Bad Wolf. I'd love that. I would love to see like some of these Aero suspended coasters come back. Eagles Fortress also looked really good. Actually, probably if I had to go back in time, then definitely I think the coaster I would want to ride the most. Superman Hypers. Okay, so I assume basically the one at Superman Ride of Steel, Superman the Ride, or the other 2. Wait. Oh, Superman the Ride at New England, because I thought for some reason I thought Darien Lake. I don't know why. Because the ride is called Ride of Steel, not Superman Ride of Steel. Oh, you might go to Everland. That's cool. T-Express still looks awesome. And it looks like a really nice park. So there's definitely still a lot of reason to like go there. I've ridden 4 of 5 the Arrows suspended. I forgot where the 5th is. Well, I'm trying to think of the Arrows. It's somewhere in Europe. Is it in England? I'd like to say it's in England. I think it has the Vekoma trains, I think. Is it at Chessington? I think it might be. So you've ridden Vortex, Bat, Iron Dragon, and Ninja. So, actually, which one's your favorite out of those 4? Out of the 4 Aero suspended coasters, I'm curious. I've only ridden 2 of them, but I like Iron Dragon more than Ninja. I think it's at Nagashima. No, it's definitely not at Nagashima Spa Lane, I can tell you that. There have been a few Japanese Aero suspended. It's at Chessington and it's called Vampire. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that would be it. SNS has some of Aero's plans. They could rebuild the Big Bad Wolf. They could, but where are they going to put it? They'd have to get rid of, what's it called? I blinked out for a second. Verbolten. So, RCDV, yeah, that would be it. Yours is either Vortex or Ninja. I can see Ninja. I've gotten some good rides and some not so good rides on it, so I'm a little more mixed on that. My one ride on Iron Dragon was pretty nice, so. They could put it where the old Drachenfire spot is. Well, but it wouldn't have the same layout, I don't think. They'd have, they could call it Big Bad Wolf, but it would have a slightly altered layout. And also the SNS Axis Coaster, obviously that's very different, but maybe they could do that to, pay homage to it. That'd be pretty cool. Iron Dragon is the most relaxing, I'd say. Yeah, the first half, well, definitely the first half's pretty relaxing. And the second half, it actually gets, in my opinion, somewhat intense, so that's pretty cool. I think the fog was on when I rode it too, so that definitely helped out. The Jets pick is in. They're not quite announcing it yet, but it is in. I want a Raptor at Six Flags America. That would honestly be really good. But will they get it? I don't know, honestly. King's Dominion needs to bring back the train. Don't know about that. They would never RMC Roar. I feel like they would have already if they were. Let's see who the Jets pick. Mekhi Becton. Okay. So they did go offensive tackle. So this is what I was talking about with the Dolphins. There's one basically really good offensive tackle left. This is why I was kind of like with the whole Tua pick. I wasn't a big fan because I think they need to rebuild that offensive line. Um, and now they have to hope that somehow by some miracle, uh, Tristan Wirfs falls to them, which I don't think will happen, but we'll see. Raiders. I mean, they have to go receiver here, right? I mean, they, I mean, none of them, they can pick whoever they want, really. Actually, they're only 7 picks away from now. I don't know. Um, they, they maybe, I've heard they could go Jordan Love here. I would not, that would be pretty good. Jerry Jeudy could be a pick too, CeeDee Lamb. So, not Henry Ruggs because Derek Carr doesn't throw down the field that much, so he'd be a waste. But I think the Raiders will either go quarterback or receiver here. Well, if they go quarterback, the only person they're gonna get is Jordan Love, unless those. I think there are some Jalen Hurts rumors. Let's hope not. That would be horrible for them. Let's see what we got here. I got to watch CNN 10. Oh, for probably school. Okay, that makes sense. Busch Gardens Williamsburg needs a Raptor coaster. I mean, they do it? I guess. I don't think it because Six Flags Great Adventure and Magic Mountain probably are gonna get them. Like capacity, I guess, isn't that much of a concern for Six Flags, anyways. For SeaWorld, I think they may care a little more about that. So I don't know that we would necessarily see that. Although with how SeaWorld, if they're able to do okay, even with this whole event, if they're able to be okay, if they still build new bigger rides and stuff, maybe they could go for a T-Rex or something in the future, way in the future, obviously. But that would be something. A Raptor at Six Flags Great America would be perfect. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Once again, I go back to capacity. I mean, Six Flags, they would probably do it, honestly. But I think they might be more likely to arm the American Eagle first. If that's still in the plans. I don't, or if that was even ever in the plans, to actually happen. Outside of, that time where they got Goliath. But, I mean, I could see it. So, I mean, it would be, from a coaster lineup standpoint, it would be a really good fit. But we'll see. Six Flags Over Texas needs to be restored to its original 6 themes. I haven't been to Over Texas, so I wouldn't know. Let's see what else. I want the Six Flags America Raptor, if it happens, to go between Superman and Batwing. It's just an ugly, empty field there. They would actually, wait. Interesting you bring up Batwing, because I think that ride could be close to biting the dust. If they were able to get a new coaster, I don't know what exactly the plot of Lane Batwing takes up is, and I don't know how realizable that would be, but maybe the coaster would go over both plots of land. That's just my thinking. Of course, they could go for what is it? Flat ride in that area if they go with a Raptor. But you love Batwing. Yeah, but Vekoma, I don't think they really they don't supply the parts for it, so I think eventually it'll bite dust. I don't think it'll be a thing of it being unpopular. I think it's just more they can't get the parts. It's a sad reality. I hope to ride one of the Flying Dutchmans before they all go away, because I know they probably gonna all go away within the next 15 years. Raiders are picking. Las Vegas Raiders.
And I've got it right here. So with the 12th pick,
Let's see who they get.
in the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs.
Oh no. No, that was not the... No. No, they picked Henry Ruggs. He's a good receiver, but that's a bad pick for this team. Unless they go for Jordan Love at 19. Then that would make sense. Assuming he'll probably still be there. Because the team would have to trade up or something. But if they don't get him, that's not a good pick. They should have won Jerry Jeudy, I think, or CeeDee Lamb. Just for the team, it doesn't make sense because Derek Carr doesn't throw the ball down the field as much. I mean, you can use him other ways, but like it's kind of a waste if you don't utilize him as a deep threat. So that wasn't exactly the best pick, but maybe it'll work out. I don't know. Let's see. Shoot, there's a lot of stuff I missed. You shut down the Super Loop at Kentucky Kingdom. How? Your sandal fell off and was on the edge of the ditch, so they cleared the line, and I was there for 20 minutes while the supervisor came and got it. I never wear sandals or anything like that to parks, so that would never happen to me, but that's an interesting story. I don't think American Eagle's structure can even hold a Mobius loop at this point. That's why they don't duel. Well, RMC can kind of help out with the structure if they need to, so I don't think the structure is that big of a problem. Although it may cost more, so I can kind of understand what you mean by that. I don't know if they would go Mobius loop. I would hope so, but I have no clue. I don't even know if it's going to happen, to be honest. If they don't go with that, then an RMC Raptor, I mean, the capacity might not be great, but that would not be a terrible option from a coaster lineup standpoint. Actually, it'd be a really good option, but for capacity, I don't know. If we get a Max Force type ride, it could go there. Of course, it's Six Flags America, so it wouldn't happen. Well, if Max Force is meant to be cloned, I don't know if that's... I kind of doubt it, but if it is, I wouldn't entirely rule it out because Six Flags America, they love to give them clones, so you never know. Six Flags St. Louis is rumored to get a Raptor. Was it from that, what is it, drawing thing? I don't know. That seemed a little fake to me, but maybe it's real. Honestly, I hope it's real because St. Louis, they really need a new coaster. Even if it were something like a clone, it would be, like, huge for that park. Oh, okay, I guess I should, for the draft, for San Francisco 49ers, I guess it's more a coaster thing than NFL draft sort of thing, but I'll still go with this. 49ers, they could go receiver here because they could get either Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb still, which is, like, really good. But they could also go Javon Kinlaw because they lost DeForest Buckner. Yeah, they got this pick in return, but I think they more traded Buckner away because they couldn't pay him rather than they didn't want him. So they may just go with a replacement for him here, which I would not be opposed to, so that could be on the table. I think, actually, I'm going to predict this is going to be Kinlaw. Why did the Raiders pick Henry Ruggs? I don't know. It was not a good pick. If they get Jordan Love later, fine. I'll excuse it. It was a good pick. But if they don't, it doesn't make any sense because Derek Carr does not throw the ball deep. He's capable of doing it, but he just, I don't know. He's more conservative. It just doesn't make a lot of sense why they would have picked him. Let's see. There are blueprints for a Six Flags St. Louis Raptor leaked already. Well, were there something new? Because the thing I originally saw didn't look that legit. So I'm not exactly sure what to believe, but maybe it is real. I really hope it is. What do you think the name will be? Oh shoot, so you guys really think it's that? Like it's that certain it's gonna happen? I have no clue what the name would have been. They can add steel supports, but renovating the structure would be expensive. That is true. So maybe they wouldn't do that. But I don't know what the heck they're going to do with that plot of land, because I think they're going to close American Eagle pretty soon. Unpopular opinion, Viper at Six Flags Great America has low ridership, sex trains, and is forgotten. If they tore down Eagle and arm-seed Viper, then I would be fine with that. I've heard good things about Viper, so I'd hope to be able to ride it before it closed. Honestly, I don't think it... I looked this up a few days ago. I saw this stat somewhere, and I couldn't believe it until, like, I actually looked it up on RCDB. There are like just around, or maybe even a little bit less than 200 wooden coasters in the entire world. So I actually kind of understand like the whole RMC. Oh, wait, the 49ers traded the pick to the Bucks. The Buccaneers just traded up to number 13. So, are they, the Bucks, would they, I think, who are they gonna get? I was hearing maybe a receiver. As crazy as it sounds, because someone mentioned this at some point. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin aren't exactly short to intermediate options for Tom Brady, so I could see them like trying to go for someone who would be more fitting for that sort of role for the Bucks. So maybe they'll go receiver. I am way behind on this. Golden Horse Pantheon clone. That would be awful. It would be like a Wicked Cyclone if they arm seed wrap. Viper. Honestly, from the POVs, I'm not that hyped about Wicked Cyclone. I think it looks like one of the worst RMCs. Maybe when I write it, I'll be proven wrong, but that's just kind of like my thoughts on it right now. Golden Horse. Oh, my goodness. What will happen if China clone Pantheon at their parks? I think Pantheon... I don't think that's really a clonable ride. It's like so massive. I'd be surprised. I mean, like, but would it matter though? Because hardly anyone's actually gonna ride both of them. So I don't really think it matters too much. Even if somehow it did happen, I can't see it happening, but maybe. Let's go with Arms the American Eagle and send Goliath to Six Flags America. I heard about like Goliath, they would send it away. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. If they had, well, okay, actually American Eagle, they have to make it a Mobius loop then if they were to have it in the same park as Goliath. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to have both of them in the same park. Mac Hyper on Eagles land. Yeah, that's not happening, but you can always dream, right? POVs don't do Wicked Cyclone justice. I mean, that makes sense because some people have it ranked really high. So, I mean, I haven't ridden it, so we'll just kind of have to see what happens. Does Griffin have a clone in South Korea? I believe Griffin does have a clone. Somewhere in Asia. It might be in China. I'm not sure. I don't think it's in South Korea, but if someone knows that, if someone can RCDV check that, that'd be nice. Have the LA Chargers picked yet? Yeah, they picked Justin Herbert. Honestly, probably the worst pick in the draft thus far, I'm sorry to say. I do not like Justin Herbert, like, as a quarterback. I think he's going to have to sit at least a year, maybe two, before he can start. They passed up on Jordan Love, who I think's better. And the Dolphins picked Tua before, so they couldn't get him if they wanted to do that. Okay, the Bucks are about to pick. Here's the pick. So I think they're going to go receiver here, as crazy as it sounds. I think they're going to go receiver here.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Right, they need that one guy to protect the Brady on the, I believe it's the right side of the offensive line. Yeah, because they're releasing DeMar Dotson. So Tristan Wirfs, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how I forgot about that. Yeah, no, good pick. Now the Dolphins, they're not getting one of those top prospects. So at offensive line, so that's kind of the cost of getting Tua, I guess. But maybe they can still get some guys here. Now, back to this. Oh, there is one in South Korea. Okay. Armseed boss at Six Flags St. Louis. Honestly, I don't think that should be Armseed. I don't think we should do that. That they should do that anyways. Your math teacher is from South Korea, so I gotta see if he's been on T-Express. I believe that Everland is near Seoul, so if he is from Seoul, then maybe. But if it's any other part of it, that's just probably unlikely. But if he's like from Seoul, then there's a good chance maybe he has. Maybe he's at least been to Everland. RMC Grizzly at California's Great America. Now, I would love it if they actually did this, but will they? I don't know, because, I mean, they could make it a different layout, but it'll be pretty similar to Joker at Discovery Kingdom. But then, on the other hand, Great America had a Impulse coaster in their plans, and there already is one at Discovery Kingdom, so I'd be totally down for it. Honestly, I really hope that after the hyper coaster they're getting, if that's still happening, then that's something that definitely should be done. No, it would not be a hyper. It definitely would not. They don't have the space. But it would be pretty fun, I guess. It would be a great ride, I think. It would be a lot better than what they have already. RMC Raging Bull confirmed. Yeah, definitely. Since everyone is at home, the CO2 in the atmosphere is more clear than ever. Huh, interesting. So the carbon dioxide is more clear than ever, yeah. People are joking about the RMCs. I think we're gonna see a lot more ground up hybrids. Redskins or Cowboys? Like, obviously the Cowboys are the better team right now. I would rather root for the Redskins. I really don't like the Cowboys or their fan base for the most part, so yeah. Although I have had Ezekiel Elliott on my fantasy team multiple times. I've never won with him, so I don't know if that's some even more of a reason not to like them, but it's something. Let's see. Do I edit on PC? No, I mentioned this. I actually, all my videos, like this recording and basically all my videos are edited, everything basically, on an iPhone 6s. That's pretty much, yeah, that's like pretty much all I use. Sometimes I'll use my like Mac to help me out a little bit, but that's pretty rare. Are you ready for the FIFA World Cup in 2026? Is that really when the next one is? I'm not, I don't follow soccer. Basically, the only sport I follow is NFL football. I sometimes will watch college football, but I guess, I mean, I like watching it when it happens, though. When the World Cup happens, I like to watch the games, so. Anyone on PC, I can get a Premiere Pro for free anywhere. Oh, okay. Anyone on PC can get, okay, I see. Oh, the next one is in 2022, but the USA one is in 2026. I was about to say, I'm like, they're not gonna take that long, are they? I'm gonna refill my water bottle again. I just ran out, so, and I have a lavalier, so that's where the audio is coming from. So I'm just gonna do that real quick.
What does an apron have to do with insurance? An apron is protection. An apron is not quitting until you've helped make something better. What does an apron have to do with insurance? For us, especially right now, everything.
In an economic downturn, contractors are usually the first to go.
Food and beverage industry is pretty much stopped.
The FIFA World Cup is every 2 years. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I just like I started watching the most recent one, so I wouldn't know.
I started the job this morning.
What else happened here? Let's see. Yeah, Premiere is super expensive. I've looked into it. Trust me.
Raiders are on the clock. I predict they'll pick up running back.
Fastest running back I ever saw was at a Hollywood High.
Um,
No, we got arrested.
get Premiere Rush on mobile. It's really good. I think I've looked into it. I just haven't. I'm gonna get a new computer at some point soon-ish. So I won't be doing mobile editing for too much longer, but probably at least for another few months. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Let's see what else we got here. I hope the NFL season and football season doesn't get canceled. It seems like unless somehow, I guess, it seems like that's extremely unlikely for the NFL season to get canceled. There's probably just going to be fanless stadiums. Like, the NFL, I guess, has a lot more control over how over the players and other things like that than the rest of the sports leagues or the rest of the major sports leagues. So it might happen anyways, for better or for worse. So college football, that's probably dead, I'm sorry to say. I don't know what the heck's going to happen with next year's draft and all that. Premiere Rush is the best mobile editor, but you can only make 3 exports and it takes a lot of space. Yeah, I haven't really used it much, so wouldn't know too much about it. I'll hit you up when you get the computer. Alrighty. It's a one-time $10 payment for unlimited exports. Not going to do that because I'm not going to be doing mobile much longer. And yeah, we'll see what happens with like the whole editing thing. But yeah, I'm looking into a new computer. So the 49ers, I think they could either once again go receiver or Kinlaw here. Actually, I think they'll get Kinlaw. Because I think why would they have let the Bucks trade up, I think? They're probably getting Kinlaw. Yep, right on the money. There we go. Javon Kinlaw to the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of fans are going to be disappointed, I think. But honestly, I think this is a really good pick. Because they needed to replace DeForest Buckner because they just couldn't pay him. That's the reason they got rid of him. I think it's just they couldn't pay him. So getting a replacement, a high-level replacement, I think it's really good for them. Should keep them in that Super Bowl contending sort of conversation. The only thing is there's some questions about his health, I guess. So I don't know exactly what's up with all that. iMovie is still really good though. Mobile iMovie isn't nearly as good as PC iMovie. Wait, PC iMovie? Yeah, it's not the best, but I just try to work with it. I have Splice as well, which helps me. So I just kind of try to do the best with. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, iMovie on PC doesn't make sense. It's only on Mac. Yeah, I'm like, there. That doesn't. Even, I was like reading that. I was like confused. I'm like, that's not a thing. But no, yeah, iMovie on PC seems a lot better. So, I mean, did I say PC? iMovie on Mac seems a lot better. There we go. The Broncos. Henry Ruggs would have been perfect for the Broncos because, like, he's really fast and like because the Broncos play in a thin air environment, like cornerbacks trying to keep up with him it would have been basically impossible. And Drew Lock can probably throw the ball deep, so I think it would have been really good. Too bad that he already got picked. But there's still Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb, so whoever they want out of those two they can get. Maybe they go somewhere else. I don't know. Atlanta's next. I'm kind of... Who are they going to get? Probably I mean, they have to get a corner, I think. Oh, wait. They could get... saying his name is hard a little bit, but Calevon Chesson. I believe that's how you say his name. The edge rusher. They could get him. I hope so. PC is Windows Inline. Yeah, exactly. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is like the, I assume this means only true theme park outside of Disney and Universal. In the United States, I could kind of see where you are coming from, and actually I'm trying to think about it. You're, I think, kind of right, honestly. Busch Gardens Tampa has some level, I think. Oh wait, well, Silver Dollar City and Dollywood, I guess. There's a few, but for the most part, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Do I think Six Flags America could get one of Six Flags New England's boomerangs? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess they could. Honestly, I could see it happening, but we'll see. I could see it happening. I don't know if the giant inverted boomerang, like, what the status is on the, like, exactly if parts are being made that much anymore. I know for regular boomerangs they're still being made. I don't know how about the giant inverted boomerangs, but if they are, I could definitely see one of them going to Six Flags America. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. You can run iMovie on a virtual machine in Windows. Okay. Interesting. Is the Busch Gardens Williamsburg Shuttle Launch Giga Coaster true or false? I don't think I'd even call it a Giga. But anyways, but the 300-foot plus tall coaster. I think, no, that's like legit. That is supposed to happen. Now, it may get delayed, but it should happen eventually. Or maybe they'll, I don't know if they've already paid for it. If they haven't, maybe they'll scrap it. I don't know. I don't think it's a good addition for them because, I mean, yes, it's different from Pantheon, but it's another launch coaster and it's from Intamin. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like that idea for Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but we'll kind of have to see how that goes. Let's take Goliath and fix those trains. Honestly, yes. That's really unfortunate that it's in as bad of a state, Goliath, at Six Flags New England as it is. What will be the next coaster going to Worlds of Fun? It's kind of cliche. Oh wait, hold on. There's a Broncos pick. Jerry Jeudy. Yep, good pick. Why he said congratulations, Jerry. Has he said congratulations to other people? That was weird. Anyways, the next coaster going to Worlds of Fun, kind of stereotypical, but I'm gonna say probably RMC Raptor. I don't see what else they would put in there. What will King's Dominion get to replace Volcano the Blast Coaster? So there was those like leaks or whatever it was that they were gonna get a wing coaster, but that was supposed to be for 2021. But those disappeared, and they're supposed to be getting that what is it? The free spin that's supposed to go in Crip's spot, and people are thinking that they're actually gonna do something different. I have no clue. I think a Gerstflower Infinity, something a little more unique, would definitely be awesome. My dream pick would probably be like a Vekoma flying coaster, a Vekoma launch flying coaster. I think that would be really cool. But I don't know if the wing. Wait, well, oh, the wing coaster is still happening. That's a shame. I really hope not. But yeah, yeah. Broncos got Jerry Judy. I said that, and now my Falcons are on the clock. Kayla Vaughn, Chason, I think is who we're getting. I probably butchered that terribly, but maybe Christian Fulton, the cornerback. I don't see who else we would get. Those seem to be the options. Yeah. Next coaster at Silver Dollar City. Next coaster at Silver Dollar City. That's tough because I don't know their land situation, and there's definitely like a lot of things I could think of. There's a lot of stuff they could get. It's hard. It will you think it will be unique? You know what? That's probably why what makes it even more difficult to pick. It's probably something that is gonna be different. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. Maybe there's a B&M surf coaster model or something apparently that exists. I don't know if there's any information about it. I don't even know if it's a new model, but some people were thinking it was. Maybe whatever that is. I honestly have no clue what they would be getting next year. I hope the Falcons don't do anything too dumb here. I wouldn't be mad if they traded down, honestly. What else? We have Powder Keg. Wait, wait, hold on. Did I?
It's just that it's
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for men.
I don't know. B&M Strata, and I don't think that's happening. Oh, wait. Oh, you guys are... I thought you were suggesting that for Silver Dollar City. I'm like, oh, okay, no, I see what you mean. In a perfect world, Six Flags America has a B&M Giga. Yes. I guess in a perfect world, every major park has a Giga, but that's not going to happen. Virginia has almost every collection of coasters. They have a very diverse lineup, I'll say that. I don't think B&M will go for a Strata for a long time. I don't even know if they're ever going to do it because, I don't know. B&M, they like to play it safe, it seems like, more nowadays. Although this surf coaster, I mean, maybe it is something really innovative, so we'll see.
Teammates help each other find a way to win.
Imagine if it's something like that, like Aero concept. Probably not because it would be low capacities, but there's like if you've seen the Aero surf coaster concept. At least I think it was Aero. Yeah.
California has made it easier to get financial help, but time's limited.
Yeah, I know the Strata would be an upscale Giga, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it. Watch the surf coaster never happen. I mean, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I at least hope we find out what the heck it is. I mean, it would be sad if we never knew or never found out whatever it was, whether it was just some random name of a coaster being built or if it's actually a new model, because I don't know that much about it. Love the Vekoma Firestorm POV. It looks amazing. Oh yeah, the Vekoma what surf coaster? There was something, I think Canada Coaster Fan, he may have talked about it before his channel died. It's been going around for a while. But I guess there's like B&M, there's this thing called a surf coaster that came up somewhere. People weren't sure if it was a name of a coaster or a new model, and people were assuming it was a new model. So we have like no clue what it is though. So oh, the Vekoma Firestorm. Yeah, that ride. The trims at the top are a little disappointing, but I'm hoping that maybe they won't run as hard. And it was one of the first test runs, so it'll probably be running faster anyways, so I'm not too concerned about the trims. Is Orion a Giga or a huge hyper? I see it as a Giga, but whatever. People can say it's a hyper, and I can kind of understand why. Yeah. Coaster Force, I'm not gonna say anything about like any other channels that are negative on here. I know that there's been some channels that, oh yeah, because I mentioned Canada Coaster Fan. You know, I actually, before that whole event happened with his channel termination, I asked for, I wanted to use one of their videos as footage for one of my videos, and I emailed them, asked them, and I forget who told me, but one of them said that I couldn't use their footage because it jeopardized their agreement with parks, because their footage is apparently supposed to be used strictly only for them. Like, other people cannot use it. I don't know if they started terminating stuff because the park got upset, or if they just did it because they did it. So I don't really have anything to say on Coaster Force, but yeah, I did try it, but that's why you've never seen me use Coaster Force footage, because I asked once and they're like, yeah, don't use it. The Falcons are gonna pick. Okay, so here we go. Oh God.
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select A.J. Terrell, defensive back, Clemson. So A.J. Terrell, hey, this continues the theme we saw at the top. Young playing close to home, the Ohio State starting defense by Washington. Now A.J. Terrell.
Maybe he'll be good, but AJ Terrell got picked by the Falcons. I would have wanted Caleb Von Chasson at this point. Saying his name is hard for me. Oh God. I don't know about that. I mean, we needed a cornerback, so it's a good position fit, but I don't know that I like that. They could have gotten someone else, I feel like, at cornerback. Let's see what we got here. I guess this is why they wanted to trade up. Man. In the winter, the track shrinks so it isn't 300 feet. Griffin or Yukon Striker. Never ridden either of them, but I really don't like those vest restraints. I hear they're not as bad as they are on Valraven, so it's tough, but I'll take Griffin for now. Why couldn't B&M get Alpengeist to go over 200 feet? I don't know. Like, it's weird when a park decides not to go for like a record that's 200 feet. If it's something like in the US, like why didn't Steel Curtain make their inversion like 3 feet taller? Like for some other countries where their metrics are different, I don't know. Like it makes sense why they would barely miss that 200-foot mark, but for the US, it just seems a little weird. I don't know. You're so close, just kind of you can't build any taller. Just seems a little weird. Yeah, I ripped Kobe Bryant. That was a really sad thing when that happened. I actually didn't hear about it until I went to a gym. I think it literally like just happened like the news broke out a few minutes, and I was at the gym, and it was like all over like all the TVs. I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah, very sad though. Definitely a difficult situation for his family and everything, and especially now with the whole coronavirus situation, that's tough. Cowboys are on the clock. This has to be Christian Fulton, I think. Yeah, because I think literally everyone has been mocking him to go to the Cowboys. I think some people were bringing up quarterback. I mean, I don't think if they're in a win now situation, I don't really think that's what they want to go for. So, I think they'll go Christian Fulton here. Is it possible to send a message to only one person on here? I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Can someone explain the logic with Paramount when they fired the manufacturer for Son of Beast and built it themselves? They messed up with something. They like messed up with the profiling or something. I think either the structure. I think there's also problems with the structure, and the park I guess just felt like they could do it better themselves. Which, I mean, if it was already messed up, maybe they actually did a good job, and it was just a bad job to begin with, and there's no coming back from it. So I don't know exactly the whole thing with the Son of Beast thing, but just kind of a unfortunate situation for Kings Island back then. Why couldn't B&M get Apollo's chariot to go over 200 feet to be an elite hyper? I don't know. Sometimes most people consider it a hyper, right? Because the drop's over 200 feet. I'd consider it a hyper. I wouldn't call it elite, but I've never ridden it, so I wouldn't know for sure. I'm just curious. Like, I know I'm more talking about coasters than the draft, but if any of you guys are watching, what do you guys think of like all the picks so far? I'm actually surprised there's been like barely any trade ups. There's only been one, and it was only for one to go up one. So there he is, Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. He came into the Super Bowl with like a $300 million yacht or something like that. Ridiculous. I can't ever forget that. The manufacturer didn't do wrong. They just pulled a Six Flags budget. Paramount, I don't know much about them, so maybe that could make sense. What's your second nearest home park, everyone? Well, if we're talking about major parks, I consider Magic Mountain my home park, but technically California's Great America is like a few miles closer to me, I guess. But like I'm pretty much in between them. So I guess I would say Magic Mountain, but I consider Magic Mountain my home park. But I'm still like 2.5 hours away from it, so it's kind of hard. About the same with Great America, a little bit less, but basically the same. Mount Olympus, that's an interesting park to have. The Cowboys, who are they picking? CeeDee Lamb. What? What? CeeDee Lamb? I did not expect that. Did not see that coming. So Cowboys selected receiver CeeDee Lamb. That's crazy. They already have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. But I mean, give more weapons to Dak, I guess. I mean, can't fault them too much, I guess. Although I think they should have went cornerback, but whatever. Definitely a really good player they got though. Six Flags St. Louis and Worlds of Fun, Kings Dominion. Don't follow the draft much, just like to see the playoffs. Yeah, for some sports I like just kind of like watch the playoffs, so I can understand that. NFL I watch the whole season though, so. Coaster enthusiasts in the Walmart lot during the pandemic like this would be a great place for an armed state T-Rex. Honestly, like in my home city, I like just try to think where could like a half decent coaster go, because there's like basically only 2 kiddie coasters in my town, and I've never ridden them. So, man, it's really sad. So the Dolphins are up next. I don't know. We're barely over halfway through this. How long has it been? How long has this gone for? Let's see. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Guys, I think I'm gonna... Okay, so for this live stream, when we get to my time, 8 o'clock Pacific, I'm probably gonna end the stream if we get to that point, which it looks like we probably will. Just because that's like a really long time for me to do this. But yeah, let's see what you guys have to say. Griffin is the last tall dive coaster to use the old over-the-shoulder restraints. Yeah, the vest restraints. Actually, okay, so I've ridden 2 B&Ms with the vest restraints. Valraven, I did not like one bit with the vest restraints. Like, I didn't like the vest restraints. I thought that Valraven was okay, it was fine. But, man, the vest restraints killed it for me. Gatekeeper, I didn't mind them as much. They were a little annoying, but they weren't that bad. I think I just got stapled on Valraven, though, so kind of unfortunate. Where I live, there's a lot of empty space, so maybe I could start my own park if I get rich enough. Well, you'd have to figure out also, would it be worth it? Will like enough people go? Am I from Fresno? Yeah, I'm from Fresno, California. I mean, it gets super hot out here, so it gets super hot out here, so some people have suggested if we were ever to do an amusement park, it might have to be indoors. I don't know. So, like, during the summer, it can get to 100, even, like, around 110 degrees. So, yeah, it gets really hot out here. Actually, this next week, we're already supposed to be in the, like, 90s. So, that's pretty interesting. Am I live streaming tomorrow? No, live streams are more, I think I'm gonna do a weekly thing, but, yeah. What was that? Someone opened the door. They can build a mall like Mall of America. In Fresno, I don't think that would happen. I mean, our malls are tiny, so that'd be really funny if that actually happened. I don't think it would do well enough. But maybe it would do better than American Dream, because American Dream, what were they thinking, honestly, with that whole place? Like, a ton of stores unopened, and the situation is, like, horrible for it. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be... I don't know if Nickelodeon Universe is gonna be absolutely okay with it, like, through this, because they had a lot of struggles before, so... No, the water park didn't even open. Like, it honestly, with the $100 entry... Wait... Well, I know Nickelodeon Universe was like $60 plus or something crazy like that, which is awful. And apparently, like the online tickets, they weren't allowing them at one point, which is also terrible. Is the water park really like close to $100 entry? That's crazy. Like that's what I expect like from a Disney or a Universal water park. Definitely not what is it? American Dream. Like a DreamWorks water park. Oh, the Dolphins' second pick is in. So they picked Tua earlier. Let's see what they do with this pick. They'll probably go O-line here. Probably Josh Jones, I believe. Yeah, I think they'll go with him. Although, I'm trying to think. There's still um, there's still Justin Jefferson on the board, and who's the other guy? I'm drawing a blank again. Just oh yeah, and T Higgins. Yeah, those are two guys I could go for. $99 with tax.
So congratulations. We can't wait.
For a water park. That's just crazy. There's no way they're gonna do well. I just cannot see that. I don't know what they're thinking. And then like $70+ for Nickelodeon Universe, or 60, 70. I thought it was 60, which I already thought was way too much. 70? I don't understand. Like, it's like, I don't know. It would be one thing if they actually had like elaborate theming, but they really don't. Honestly, the park, from the footage I've seen, looks really ugly. And I don't mean like the characters and stuff. The characters are fine, actually, like the statues and different things of that sort. But the building itself is hideous. It's like as if they didn't paint it or something. It's awful. It's crazy that that park's like $70 to go into. Dolphins pick is in.
We got good news for Tua. With the 18th pick in the 2020 NFL
Josh Jones, I'm guessing.
Dolphins select Austin Jackson,
Austin Jackson.
USC.
Okay, so they did get offensive line help. All right, that makes sense. Alrighty, that's good to see that the Dolphins are addressing that. Let's see. I'm only about 4 hours away from Great Adventure. Well, that isn't that horrible, but at the same time, you can't really visit multiple times a year, or at least not that much. The tough thing for me is that I pass 4 parks on my way to Massachusetts, and I go multiple times a year. Oof. Well, I'm headed out. Oh, you're headed out. All right. Bryce Perkins, watch I think not tomorrow, but well, maybe tomorrow or the day after, because I think he's gonna be he's probably gonna be a day 3 prospect, but hope for the best for him. Alrighty. So yeah, that's tough. Actually, every time I go to LA, because of where I live, I always pass by Six Flags Magic Mountain. So, which is multiple times. So, what's the best Gerstlauer? Well, the best Gerstlauer, I haven't ridden this, but the one that looks the best to me is Carnon at Hansa Park. And the best one I've ridden, it's a pretty short list. There's not really a whole lot. It's Hang Time, which honestly, compared to some of the hype it gets, it's kind of a, like, it's a fun ride, but it is not like some amazing coaster that some people make it out to be. I don't know. It's a little short, and the inversions actually don't give insane hang time. It gives decent hang time, but it's nothing that crazy, which is unfortunate. Raiders are up next. Please. Oh God, I hope they pick Jordan Love. I do not want him going to the Patriots, and I definitely don't want him going to the Saints, although the Saints might go linebacker anyways if he falls. I can't believe he's falling this far. Like, that's nuts. I mean, Justin Herbert went 6, and Love hasn't even been picked yet. I just cannot see that. SpongeBob Rock Bottom is literally the most underrated ride. So I'm like kind of going back and forth between the two things, but that's just kind of how it is with a draft live stream. It does seem pretty underrated, but I've heard it's a little rough. The draft is so funny because of the families in the couch with the mic. Oh yeah, there. I haven't been paying attention, but there's like just funny stuff I bet like going on in the background, like some of the fan stuff. Yeah, it looks kind of funny. I you pass Great Adventure, Nickelodeon Universe, Quasi, and Lake Compounds. Rip. It's so, but okay, SpongeBob Rock Bottom Plunge. It's so compact and has ejector airtime on an indoor coaster. Yeah, for an indoor coaster, it's like really high quality. I will say that because, like I was saying that if like my hometown got like a Gerstlauer Eurofighter, I don't like some people are like, oh, let's get an RMC Raptor or something like that. I'd be totally fine if we got like a Eurofighter. That'd be like amazing. I'd be so hyped for it. I mean, really, because all we have is in my town we have a kiddie coaster made by Molina and Sons. I think that's what the company is called. And the other one is an E&F Myler kiddie coaster, which I actually hope to ride this summer for the first time because I heard that I'm able to. Like from a height, I'm not too tall for it, but it all depends on this like situation. I rode it 20 times. 20 times. Oh, the Raiders are picking. Shoot. Okay.
As you may know, we are scheduled to host a draft in Vegas this year.
Oh, are they gonna make?
And we thank so many for the effort they put forth to prepare.
I think they're announcing that they're gonna make the draft in Las Vegas next year. I think.
So we're happy here to announce that tonight, the Las Vegas Raiders will host the 2020 NFL Draft.
What?
Congratulations to Mark Davis,
2020.
Raiders organization, and Raiders Nation. We look forward to being there in Las Vegas, and congratulations.
Oh, he meant to say 2021 NFL draft. They're gonna so Las Vegas is gonna have the draft next year. Okay, that makes sense. Damon Arnett? What? I don't like that pick. Why they got that guy? Like Christian Fulton's, I think is better. What? I don't like that pick. I don't know. Both picks were bad actually by the Raiders. Henry Ruggs, you're not going to be able to use him because Derek Carr doesn't throw the ball deep, and you get this guy who is not even the best cornerback on the board. The Jaguars are next. So they got Isaiah Simmons. They could still go receiver here, or they could go quarterback. That's been thrown around because they only have Gardner Minshew basically.
On such a big night for the family. Autumn, we want to begin with you. What was your reaction when you found out, when your brother told you that he was going to be your donor?
The stream delay, I haven't like paid attention to what it is. I'm trying to look at it right now. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I rode it 20 times. Eurofighters are literally connects coasters and are just crazy. Yeah, they look really fun. The 0G roll on it's a mouthful. SpongeBob Rock Bottom Plunge is the best because it has more hang time than hang time itself, and it is super close to the wall. Yeah, I believe that. I want to ride on Maverick with the Heartline roll. I mean, you're gonna probably pass out, but go if that were to happen. If you could go back in time, go for it. But you're probably gonna pass out. Oh yeah, it had the hard restraints. Yikes, that'd be actually painful. Like at least on the soft restraints, I'd be willing to do the rest. With the hard restraints, no. I want to ride a Eurofighter. Is Daredevil, Dive, or Untamed better? I have not ridden an actual Eurofighter. I've only ridden an Infinity Coaster in that same time. So I wouldn't know. What time is it right now? Let's see. 7:35. So like in 25 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream because 3 hours is a pretty long time, like I said. But this has been pretty good. Good. I'm actually happy to see that at least a few of you guys are coming in and commenting, like different things to discuss. So I like that. Is Maverick with the Heartline roll another credit? Let me leave this here so you guys can go to war. You know, I mean, I don't think it's a new credit because it's just one element that changed. It's like saying that, like, what, I think Boulder Dash, Timberwolf, a few other rides that have had, like an element change or two. Most people don't consider those new credits before and after. So I'd probably say the same for Maverick. I don't think that makes it a new credit. But of course, my definition is a little different. Like, I've ridden a relocated coaster at one location and another one, and I still consider that one coaster. It's actually Joker at Six Flags Mexico. I rode it as Pandemonium at Discovery Kingdom, and I consider that one coaster credit, even though I've ridden it at two separate parks. And I consider Vortex and Patriot, because I rode it before and after it was a Floorless, the same credit as well. Did I say it was 7:30? Well, I'm Pacific Standard Time, so that's why I say it 7 something. Let's see. Phantom's Revenge. Okay, that's a lot different because Maverick, that would have been one element that was changed. Phantom's Revenge, a lot of the layout changed, and a new company came in and basically like manufactured new track. That would be a new credit, I think, in my opinion. Because they give two totally different ride experiences. So I would say that Phantom's Revenge is a new credit if you were able to ride Steel Phantom back in the day.
Introducing Head & Shoulder Stylers. Styling products that are both strong on style and kind on the scalp. Everyone is asking, what happens now?
Let's see. I consider Apocalypse and Firebird separate credits. Okay, I can see that. I mean, like, it's fine. I just don't see it that way. Let's see what else we got here.
Man, the Bears really need a good draft this year.
Yeah, when we give away all of our good picks for Khalil Mack, our first pick's 43rd.
There might be some players left. I heard they got their eye on a tight end with tiny hands and vertigo.
There's also a running back with 2 new knees from a division.
Apocalypse was better. You know, it's interesting. I used to hear all the time that the Floorless conversions were way better than the stand-ups, and now I'm hearing more that they were better at stand-ups. The only one I've never heard that was better than the other one was Vortex and Patriot. I don't think I've heard a single person say that Vortex was better than Patriot, because honestly, I rode Vortex, it was terrible, so Floorless conversions need to stop. I think there's some rides where I think it, like, or at least one, like I said, Patriot, that was horrible. I mean, I think a ride like Mantis would not have necessarily needed it. I never rode it as Mantis, but I liked Rougarou, and roughness wasn't really an issue for me, headbanging. So I think, I don't know, I think it would have been fine as a stand-up. Firebird was the Six Flags way for a new coaster. Yeah, sort of. Jaguars pick is in. Now, let's see who they get. I really do not want the Patriots or the Saints to get Jordan Love. So, if the Jaguars have to get him, fine. They can do that, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they get. Or, I mean, who they get. They could definitely get a receiver. I could see that. If we get Armsy Roar, it better not be a Joker clone. I don't think they would do it because honestly, like, it would probably make it different. I feel like it just won't happen. And honestly, I feel like Roar at Six Flags America, it seemed like it deserved the RMC treatment more than Roar Discovery Kingdom because I wrote it before they turned in Joker. And honestly, it was a pretty decent GCI coaster. Definitely a lot better than as Joker. Oh, the Jaguars are picking. Oh, okay. They picked the Jaguars. Just picked Kayla Vaughn, Chason. Okay, so the N is not. I don't know why I thought that. I heard someone say it where the N was silent and Chason. A good pick for them. That works. But back to Roar. Yeah, it was a good ride at Discovery Kingdom before it became Joker, and I mean, yeah, like I said, it's better though, so I can't complain too much there. I feel like in almost every one, I assume you mean Floros conversions, develops a rattle with those trains if the park doesn't take care of it. That might be true. So I think if parks can take care of their floorless conversions, it's fine. But we should. I hope that not all the stand-up coasters go away. But we'll see. Armsy Roar will be like Twisted Cyclone and Wicked Cyclone, completely different. Yeah, those coasters those have similar layouts. They probably did both. Yeah, they're probably kind of based off the Cyclone layout. So, yeah, I would think they would do a different layout. So I wouldn't worry about it being a clone of Joker because that's hard to do with the structure. That's just I don't know. That seems weird to do a clone with the same I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Firebird is almost as bad as Mind Eraser. Yeah. So SLCs, I'll actually say this. I've only ridden one. It was Kong at Discovery Kingdom. And honestly, it wasn't a great ride by any means. I don't even think I'd say it was good. But I mean, it was okay. I don't think it was that horrible. Maybe it's one of the better SLCs, though I've heard it's one of the worst. And I rode toward the front row. I don't think SLCs are that bad, but maybe I haven't ridden a bad one, or I rode in a good row, or on a good day. But Mind Eraser, I've heard horrible things about it, so it might be one of the ones that actually deserves the hate it gets. Let's see. Oh, do you think they are gonna clone Roar? I mean not Roar. Joker. Maybe they will. I wouldn't rule it out, but it seems weird. So the Eagles are picking. They're showing Grant Delpit. Are they gonna pick him? Another team that could go receiver if they wanted to. Mantis was relatively smooth, but Rougarou was not. What happened? Like I said, I've never ridden. I never got the chance to ride Mantis, and I actually rode Rougarou in the back row. There was a slight rattle, but honestly, it really wasn't that bad. I actually really enjoyed my ride on Rougarou. I have Rougarou above Valraven actually at Cedar Point, so I thought it was pretty good actually. Let's see. They still had the Apocalypse trains on site as of last time I went. You want them to go back to a stand-up. You know what would be cool though? Actually, I just thought about it. What if, I don't know if this is doable, but you know how I think there's some Togo coasters in Japan, they have different trains. What if they had one floorless train and one stand-up? I don't think they would do it, but at least that would be pretty cool, in my opinion. Of course, I don't think you'd really be able to choose, but I think it'd be pretty cool if they did that. Just an idea. I don't think they ever do that, but that'd be cool. If Magic Mountain touches Riddler, they need to sit-down trains, because those it seems they don't seem to develop a rattle as fast, because the 4 seats get more support from the train. Yeah, I would think they would, because it's pretty similar to Kumba. So, and Scream was already a floorless coaster, so because some people are like they should relocate Scream and convert Riddler's Revenge into a floorless, I think just making it a sit down would make more sense. Honestly.
Would you? I know you're very high on Justin Jefferson. Desmond, would you like the Justin Jefferson pick here? Caleb on Jason's teammate from LSU.
Eagles, they still have not picked yet.
I think that Justin Jefferson is a young man who, as a slot receiver, don't forget, he played slot and caught the ball, caught 111 passes. But the year
Looks like they're not going to pick for a little while, or they're not going to announce it for a little bit. I rode Mantis the year before the conversion, and I was actually an inch too short, but my dad was talking to the ride-up right before we rode, so she didn't check me. Well, you kind of looked out there a bit. If you look at the floorless trains, the seats have less support in the structure there. Oh, so you think that's why they have more of a rattle? Well, Scream has a pretty bad rattle, so I can see that. Okay, the Eagles pick is coming up. I think it's Justin Jefferson. I think that's going to be the pick here.
To contribute to those most in need. And we thank you again for your support.
He's rambling on a little bit. Okay, here it is.
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Reagor, wide receiver, TCU.
Nope. That was not a good pick. Why? You had Justin Jefferson there. Why didn't you get him? I've heard that he seems, Jalen Reagor, I've heard he's more of a second or third round prospect, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good fit. Back to, I guess, the floorless thing. I don't really like floorless, but Batman the Dark Knight is fine. Huh, interesting. I've heard mixed things on that ride. Scream, third row far left, was the only row with no rattle. I don't know what happened. Maybe you rode it on a good day. I have no clue. Because Scream has a pretty bad rattle. And usually I don't mind rattles too much, but I think Scream's like the one ride where it like absolutely bothers me. When are the Patriots picking? The Patriots are picking at 24, so they're 2 picks away from the... Oh, wait, no, sorry. They're at 23. So they're right after the Vikings. I'll let you know who they get. So, okay, Vikings are next, and then the Patriots will follow afterwards. I myself think the Patriots are going to go quarterback and draft Jordan Love. I know I've said already a million times that I think the team's going to draft Jordan Love, but I legitimately think the Patriots are actually going to draft him. Unless someone else trades up or something. Like right here. Because the Vikings pick is not in, so they may be trying to get a trade here. I think they could go Justin Jefferson here. I think that would be a good pick. Honestly, Jordan Love, he has so much potential. I think he'd be, as much as I don't want to see it, I think he would be a great pick for the Patriots. Or the Saints. Both of them are really good. Okay, now I see what you're talking about with the family cams. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The other train was just chilling on the Wait. I rode it 6 times that day, but that one ride was the only one with no rattle. Do you know why Scream was running one train during 2019? I don't know that they were doing that on a consistent basis. If they were, I haven't heard about it. So I wouldn't know. Maintenance maybe? I don't know. You'll never get another Brady. No, but here's the thing. Tom Brady, from a physical talent standpoint, isn't really anything exceptional. I don't want to make that sound harsh, but he never really had like the best arm strength. I mean, he had really good accuracy, and he was like he's one of the smartest football players to ever play. And so that's why he was able to do as well as he did. But someone like Jordan Love has so much physical ability that I think the Patriots would be like, for you guys, the fans, it would be really fun to watch him. I think he's going to be a fun player to watch in the NFL, so it'll be interesting. I think he's going to go to the Patriots, but we'll see what happens. Batman clones are better than any B&M looper. Batman clones, like the inverts, yes. Are better than any B&M looper. Only the Six Flags Great America one because it's built with terrain. Huh. Interesting. I don't know that. I don't think I'd agree with that, but actually, I don't really like. I haven't ridden Batman the ride at Magic Mountain in a while. That ride had a bit of a rattle to it from what I remembered. I really want to get back on it because honestly, it's one of my least favorite B&Ms right now. But I need to get back on it once like the restrictions are lifted. And it looks like going to the parks will be a thing again. Sorry, let's see. Did you hear almost everything was getting repainted at Six Flags America this year? Really? I mean, that's good. That's good that they're taking care of the park. That's good that they're repainting things. It's always good to hear. So that's good. A few flat rides and coasters. Well, that's a lot. So, I mean, that does show care for the park. So that's a good thing. The Six Flags Great America one is so much different than the rest. The Batman clone. I've heard good things about. Well, Great America isn't that's the original one, right? Yes. And it's built with the terrain. So yeah, I could see why it would be the best. Great Adventures. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one too. It's the only one you've ridden. I've heard it's one of the better ones. It's smooth in most rows. Feels like it's meant to be where it is. Probably because it probably, well, because it's the original one. Like, maybe it is a clone model, but maybe they kind of based it off of where it was actually, like, in the park. So, still smoother than any floorless. It's one of the older B&Ms, so that's pretty crazy, actually. Oh, and the Kitty Ferris wheel is getting a new light package. That's cool. Like, that's good to see parks, like, update like that. Like, Indiana Beach, I mentioned that earlier. The new owner, the businessman who bought it, said that they were going to repaint everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of rides. And that's a pretty good thing to do. Every inversion feels like it's actually meant to be there. Yeah, I mean, Batman clones, like, some people don't like them because, well, I guess, I don't know what I was going there with that, but Batman at Great America, yeah. I could see it being the best one because it probably was more really, like, actually meant to be there, or just because it was the original one. And then B&M was like, oh, hey, look at this, we can just make more of these. Only thing, like, I just thought about this the other day. I don't know how I just realized this, but there's literally, what is it, 2 Batman clones in San Antonio with Goliath and Great White. That's just so weird. Like, usually I wouldn't complain about clones because it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, people won't, like, 99% of people won't ride the other one. But in this case, like, they're, like, the 2 closest parks to each other, major parks. Why would they both have Batman clones? Seems odd. I know Goliath got relocated from Six Flags New Orleans, so that was kind of a last second thing, but that's just kind of weird. Batman clones are intense. Yeah, they are intense. One of the few coasters that have made me gray out. Okay, the Vikings are picking, so.
The 22nd pick in the 2020 draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Justin Jefferson. Wide receiver.
Justin Jefferson. Yep, that's a good pick. Because they needed someone for Stephon Diggs. Yeah, okay, that's a good pick. That makes sense. Finally. So, yeah, that works. I like that. Let's see what else we got here. Because I know, like, you guys put out a few things when I was talking about the pick. I want to go to Great America someday. So do I. Like I said, one of my most anticipated Six Flags parks. I feel like Six Flags St. Louis Clone ran pretty slow and wasn't that intense in the back row. Never ridden it, so I wouldn't know. But I've heard mixed things about that one from what I can remember. Should I go try... Oh, sorry. Should I try to go to every park in Maryland one of these days / years? Exactly what do you mean by... Do you mean literally every park that has a coaster? Like, even like... I don't know what the small parks look like over there. I mean, I wouldn't really make it a priority. I mean, California is huge, but I'm not going to go to literally every park I think that has a coaster in the state. Well, one, because there's probably a few where I am probably too tall to ride it anyways, so... I mean, I haven't even been to the like entertainment, well, the entertainment center in the small park in my town that has a kiddie coaster, so I don't know, that's more up to you, I guess. I didn't drink when I was at Magic Mountain on the first loop. My vision went spotted and dark. Actually, yeah, it was spotted and like it was gray and spotted. I remember that. Only ride that's ever done anything like. The Chargers traded up? What? They already drafted Justin Herbert. Who could they possibly want? So the Patriots are not picking next. I mentioned earlier because they just traded down. The Chargers are picking right now. This will be the last pick, and then I'm gonna what is it? End the live stream because it's been like 3 hours.
Younger and just being able to express myself through dancing.
Oh, you mean in 1 year should you try to go to every park in Maryland? I mean, oh, so you've been to every permanent amusement park. Yeah, I mean, if you would want to do it, I think it's worth a try. I mean, if at least if they have like some decent coaster of the sort, sure. I don't see why not. I think it's a good idea. Let's see. It's like when you stand up too fast after laying down awake on a coaster, so much more insane. That's an interesting way to describe it. Six Flags America Adventure Park and a few Ocean City Boardwalk parks. That's doable, I think. I got the only Puerto Rico cred. That's interesting. I don't even know what the coaster is there, so. You usually only do 1 to 2 new parks a year. Okay. Oh, but there's still some you haven't gone to? Huh, interesting. Last year you got like 7 new park credits. That's pretty good.
It's a dream come true. I've been dreaming about it since I was a little kid. So finally being in this situation and going through this
It's a traveling kiddie coaster credit. Okay, that's cool. Oh, you were at a flea market and you got on it when you were 8. So you didn't even know it was there, and you just got on. That's pretty good. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I haven't been on that many coasters compared to some people. 94. I mean, some people it seems like a lot. Other people it's like tiny. But I mean, it's interesting that I've already been ridden coasters in 2 different countries because I've ridden a few in Mexico. It was a night ride too. Nice. All right, so here's the last pick. I mean, the Chargers pick, not the last pick.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray. Interesting. Didn't think they would do that, but I mean, he's a good player, so I can see why they did that. Alrighty, so with that said, you've been on 122. Okay. With that said, why do I not have Super Chat on? I don't know. I'll try to fix that in a future video. But I'm gonna head out. We've reached like the 3-hour mark or something. So I'm gonna head out. Thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. So yeah, see you guys. Yep. Thanks for coming.